What's good? What's good? What is good? This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Make sure to like the video, share the video. In about 13 minutes, we're going to play the audio of Jackson State versus Bethune Cookman. I see some predictions. Let's get this day started. Anybody who are fans of Bethune Cookman, let me know. Anybody who are fans of Jackson State, let me know. We got Phil Ross in the building. We got Terry Harris in the building. Marion Rouse says 21-18 BCU. Wow. Yeah, y'all checked out that Oklahoma-Kansas game? Kansas is winning 10-0. 10-0. How is that possible? Jackson State cannot wait for this game. And I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all right now, JSU will be playing this team tough. They will be playing this team tough. Because I've been hearing a lot of folks saying, oh, Jackson State's not going to take this team seriously. Jackson State. I'm telling you right now, JSU will be playing Bethune Cookman tough. They're playing for Coach Prime. They're gonna play with a lot of heart tonight. Just watch. Now, would that lead to a blowout? We'll see. But I was talking with a partner of mine, right? Big fan of SWAC sports, hbcus, and I asked him about Bethune Cookman. He told me that Bethune Cookman is the best zero-loss team he has ever seen. Bethune Cookman, if you look at their schedule, they could have easily been they're 0-7. They could have easily been 6-1. Easily. But a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen, man. Roderick Williams. Peace and blessings, my brother. Says 38-17 JSU Coach Flea. Shout out to Coach Flea. That's his nickname, Coach Harold. He is Coach Prime's right-hand man. Marion Rouse says no blowout. No blowout. Looking forward to the game. Yeah, this should be a fun matchup. Rouse says internal problems with our admin. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. About Bethune Cookman having some problems lately with the administration. It's sad that y'all had to go through it, but let me see. I'm setting up this video right now so we could play the audio stream. Be patient with me as I set that up. State football. That's the game I want right there. Bethune Cookman. Southern alumni in the building. Hey, you guys are sneaky good, man. You guys are sneaky good. Southern, if they beat PV, they're going to be in the driver's seat. I'm just letting y'all know they're going to be in the driver's seat if they beat PV. Because they're another team that's better than their record. Besides the Troy game, Southern was looking dominant. That's just what I saw. And they're looking to make a lot of noise. They got a good offensive coordinator. Coach Rawlins knows how to coach offense. Southern's offensive line is very dominant. Hulu. Let me send this. PV versus Southern about to be on the show. It is going to be a show. Who y'all got for that game? PV and Southern. Let's see. We got some Southern in the building. Shout out to IBD Press. He said Jello's going to Greensboro. Shout out to Jello Ball. Got drafted by the Greensboro Swirl. Good job from Jello. If Southern wins, the Western Division is really going to be interesting. If Southern wins, it's going to be a fight to win that West Division. You never know. Alcorn could probably win it. Speaking of Alcorn, no matter how their team is, they play hard for their coach. The only bad thing about Alcorn, they play their games too close. They play them too close. And that could be a problem. That could be a problem. And you don't ever want to play that team close like that. Ever. When you play against Alcorn, you got to finish them off. Because there's a saying, if you don't finish Alcorn off, then it's too late for you. It's too late for you if you can't finish them off. I'm almost done setting this up. ESPN Plus. Jackson State. All right. So we got some Tigers in the building. Rep your school, rep your school, rep your school. We got some Tigers in the building. We see BCU's fans are turning up right now. Rep your school to the fullest. Never let anyone take your joy of rooting for your favorite school. This is football. It's all love here. Jackson State. I guess I just set it up for that. All right, now we're about to get this set, man. All right. Share screen. Almost there. Let me know if he's... All right. Now we're good to go. Faye Foster says, I love University of Jackson State. Now, I will be playing audio because if I don't, then they're going to flag my channel. And I don't want that to happen. Michelle Hunt was good. My sister. I love. Rep your school to the fullest. I love. I see a bunch of I loves in the chat. Rep your school. Rep your school. I love. Never let anyone tell you that you can't root for your school. Because I'm going to keep it real with y'all. When Jackson State was losing, no one had a problem. No one had a problem when Jackson State was losing. When Jackson State was losing and folks didn't care about them winning or anything else, it was all good. But now that they're winning, now that Jackson State is changing the game, no one wants to appreciate that. They wanted Jackson State to be one-dimensional. They wanted Jackson State to be average. That's why I'm rooting for you, brothers and sisters at JSU, because this is bigger than a specific school. To have the same type of things that D1 programs have. Why can't you have that? I don't care if Southern would have had Deion, Coach Prime. I don't care if Bethune would have had Coach Prime. We should support the real. Now, I've already said on my shows before that, hey, if you want to be Jackson State because that's your rival, there's no problems at all. No one's going to disagree with you. But to hate on a brother, to hate on a team, to root for them to always lose, come on, man. Look what Coach Prime has done. He has made SWAC HBCUs popular. All these YouTube channels are popular because of Coach Prime. I'll say it. Now, for those who know my channel, I've been talking about basketball for a while. But Coach Prime has added another dimension on my channel. Coach Prime has added a dimension to other people's channels. So we got to give respect to that man. Shout out to VKC. So today's game, Jackson State versus Bethune Cookman. It's very important for JSU to take this team seriously. And I think they will. They will play hard for Coach Prime. They know that it's difficult. And let me put this on mute before the game. When the game starts, I'll put it back on. They will play hard for Coach Prime because they know that the traditionalists who hates progress for HBCUs, they can't stand Coach Prime. They hate on him. And the transfers, they dislike the players that come in. There are a bunch of traditionalists complaining about, oh, I don't need no transfer portal, taking shots at JSU, all because they're winning. The players hear it, the coaches hear it. They hear all that mess. And the best way to make a name for yourself, the best way to change the game is to put it on. Today, I want to see some hitting. Today, I want to see passion. Today, I want to see the SWAC, the dark side defense, laid in the name that JSU is here to stay, that JSU is here to rise above all the hate, that JSU is ready to put the SWAC on the map. Look at how many folks dissing this conference, saying crap like, oh, JSU is the only team that needs to be in the playoff because everybody else is not that good because of the conference, while claiming they love the SWAC. For those who are listening, there are a lot of disadvantages because when you do for self, like the SWAC is about our people. What's going to happen? What happens when you do for self? There's obstacles. That's the name of the game. Shout out to Larry Griffin. Dark side defense, let's go. Fire up, J State. Let them know. Get the likes up. We got 300 plus people in the chat. Need 300 plus likes. Share with your friends, family. Yes, it is your time, man. It is your time. Y'all should rep y'all school, man. Don't let these people tell you can't rep your school. Don't let these people tell you can't rep your school. Because when y'all was losing, they made fun of you. Remember that. JSU fans, remember when you guys were losing, they were making fun of you. All of a sudden, you're winning. You can't even celebrate your team. Keep celebrating. Keep celebrating. And we got some trolls in here. Let me get that person out. And yes, I'm going to play the game. So I'm going to let the game play. And then I'll give my commentary.
They've been in every one of those games.
Yeah, he said it's just been errors that went to points right away, whether it was on the play, a block kick return, interception return for a touchdown. They have to stay away from those plays. If they do that, he says the results will be dramatically different.
So Bailey Rayborn getting set to kick it off for the Tigers. They will be starting on defense. By the way, the Tigers from Jackson State have the #1 defense in the SWAC. I mean, they can bring it, and pressure is the name of the game.
What's good, Lewis? I see you, my brother. Peace and blessings. Yeah, I stopped doing social media.
We'll talk about that in just a minute, but we are underway in Jackson. So the kickoff carries into the end zone.
For those who are knowing, I'm only playing the audio, so my channel does not get blocked.
From the 25-yard line as they seek to move forward from there. Of course, they had a quarterback battle going on, but let's talk about the keys to the game first for the Wildcats. Get the ball out quickly, convert in the red zone, and stop the momentum swings.
Yeah,
thank you, brother Larry Griffin. Peace and blessings to you.
Issues because you know Jackson State is coming and they are going to come hard, so that's going to be the biggest key right there.
And you see number 17, Devin Black, starting at quarterback for the Wildcats today. And of course, Coach been talking about this guy. He said he is so calm and cool that nothing bothers this guy in a football game. So he'll be making his second start today at quarterback. Puts a man in motion, and we have a flag down early. We could not even get the first snap off. There is a penalty on the field, and we'll see what it is. And it looks like the Wildcats will be backing up.
Yeah, they had a guy jump on the very first play, and that's just getting antsy. You've got to be able to keep them cool, especially to start the game. You know the count. You got it ready to go. You got to keep your focus.
A little more about Black. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds. He's 190 pounds. He's a senior.
Oh, they fumbled the snap already.
This
got
is not
the recovery
that the Wildcats wanted to get started in this ball game, as Quayshawn Bird had some problems in the backfield.
Yeah, you talk about Black being a guy who's calm and cool and doesn't let things bother him. Well, you better hope he maintains that particular personality, because you start off with a movement penalty, then you can't handle the snap. You're already in the hole. And against Jackson State, a team that you know is going to come at you, they're just able to peel their ears back and really fly now at you in the deficit of 2nd and 15.
Quayshawn Bird alertly fell on that fumble after the bad snap. Black, I said 6'2", 185 pounds senior from Ruskin, Florida, as they come up on 2nd and 18 now. So Black will throw it. Had some time, and he runs out of time and is sacked in the backfield. So pressure
already a sack by JSU.
James Houston, one of the
They pumped up.
Helping on the sack.
They pumped up. Third down.
Houston is one of those guys that's one of the main motors, but he's not alone. He has a fleet of players that just come at you, and they shoot gaps every play. They're coming through a gap, and they're doing a stunt. And just watch them. The whole offensive line is moving backwards, and look at big number 99 reach out there and grab a ball on him.
Antoine Owens got the first hand on him, got some help from his friends, but now we're looking at
third down and long.
28 to go for the Wildcats. We have another whistle on the field. It's illegal procedure again, and this is not what Coach Terry Sims had in mind at all today.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those. He's already popping thumbs on the side.
How's the volume? Is the volume out?
When you have a start like this, again, most teams you have 5-6 plays. Here's what we're going to run. Here's what we're going to come out. Here's what we're going to do. So your team gets understanding what they're going to do, and they can visualize. And right now, you don't visualize this.
So this time they hand off to Bird. He tries to get around the left side, and he is knocked down.
Oh, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
And these guys, well, I said they had the #1 defense in the SWAC, and you got an idea of it right there. The Wildcats actually started on their own 20.
It's going to be a long day today.
Yeah, I mean, and it's about penetration. And look, what I like about this one, they were gap integrity, despite a team that actually blitzes and comes through the gap. Look at the integrity they have, and they.
It's going to be a long day up in this mug.
Have to go outside, and then they maintain on the outside.
So the Wildcats will have to punt the football away. That'll bring on Ben Lennon. He's the Australian, and he's so far averaging 41.5 a kick. He's deep in his end zone here as he attempts to kick it away to Jackson State. No pressure on the punt, so he gets it away. And the ball will roll down and finally stop around the 44-yard line. So Jackson State will take over in great field position. And so we will get our first look at Shador Sanders, one of 2 Deion Sanders' sons on this ball club. Of course, Shiloh plays defense. He's a safety on the defensive end on that #1 defense. Shador Sanders, though, he's the #2 ranked quarterback in the SWAC, and his completion percentage is just off the charts. He's completing almost 70% of his passes.
That's what sticks out to me. When you're an accurate quarterback and you put the ball where you want to put the ball, right, that says a lot. That means you're making good decisions, and you're also able to deliver the ball technically. So he is a guy that and again, he's getting better and better as the season goes on.
Empty backfield for Sanders. Fires over to Corbin. Nice one-handed catch by Corbin.
Good.
About 4 yards, but what a great catch by Keith Corbin, the 6'2", 200-pound senior from Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah, Keith Corbin, the great.
Yeah, those uniforms are fire, bro.
Stop on a dime, and then he took it around there.
So check out the keys to the game for Jackson State. Keep the prime focus without Deion Sanders. Pressure. That's on the defense. And then establish dominance up front. They did that on the defensive side the first time we had the ball.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When
you turn the volume up a little more.
You've done something special.
Is that better?
Keep that prime attitude. That's just getting your coach and making sure that you have Coach Prime's energy throughout this game and focus.
Another illegal procedure penalty, so that will back Jackson State up 5. You can see the Tigers with the pink socks.
Gotta cut them penalties, man. Gotta cut them penalties.
They are celebrating today in Jackson. So Shedeur Sanders going to throw this time again, and he completes the pass, and that's Malachi Weidman over there who hauled it in, but not much room there. It's going to be a short gain on the play by Weidman.
Yeah, you get some of that penalty back right away. I like the play call, right? And again, it's a low snap, but he doesn't get rattled. Throws the ball right away, right on target.
He's a young man that's really coming on. Weidman had a touchdown pass a couple of weeks ago. They say he's getting better and better every
3rd and 6. Wow, they ran the ball in 3rd and 6.
And they're not going to get there. It's going to come up short. That was number 38.
Well, I like these JSU jerseys, man. This shit is fire.
We'll get to that a little later in the broadcast, but they're going to be a little shorter that first end.
Yeah, he averages 4.8, and again,
this shit is fire, bro.
A little bit of a trap play inside. He's struggling to get outside. Almost gets there, but just falls a little bit short. They're going.
So
they're going for it.
And the Tigers are going to go. Shedeur Sanders looks to his right. This time rolls back to his left. Fires.
Oh my God. Offense. Golly. Offense. Man.
But that will go down as an incomplete pass, and you see right away the Tigers plan to be
the hell's going on?
Aggressive without Coach Sanders on the side.
Yeah, no, they're going to keep his character like that. And Sanders going, but you like the fact that he's trying to look, but he almost probably would have done himself better just sprinting towards that end, and maybe he could have gotten that 3 yards. But
I wonder if I could show this game this way.
Ultimately, when you're passing the ball, you're going to get more yards.
So the Bethune Cookman defense comes away with a big stop after the Tigers took over in the Bethune side of the field. So the Wildcats defense.
All right, I'm gonna try to show the game. Let me see if this works. Hold on, real quick.
Possession for Jackson State. So back on offense. Black
all right.
Quarterback looking to throw on the
showing the game.
He has a receiver with a lot of room to go right there. That's Daryl Powell. He came on the slant, and boy, he picked up a huge gain. That's another first down for the Wildcats.
Great play. They faked the inside run and then just a quick timing pattern, slant inside.
Much better, much better.
So Black to throw again on first down, fires near the sideline, but this one will go down as an incomplete pass. He was trying to hit Powell again, but pass a little too low. That first pass to Powell was good for 26 yards on that little slant pattern. So the biggest play of the game so far for the Wildcats.
And again, the Wildcats, you think starting off the way they did offensively, with their defense getting the big stop there, now their offense just, everything's right as rain as far as they're concerned. They have good field position now. Now they had to go to march down the field.
2nd and 10 for Bethune Cookman. We talked about both teams coming in. Jackson State came in at 5-1, 3-0 in the SWAC. Bethune Cookman 0-7. And this time,
they're going deep
down the sidelines, and it's an incompleted pass.
Yeah, the camera angles are just That's what that's how they be doing the SWAC, man, unfortunately.
Little contact, but no harm, no foul on the play.
Yeah, it's kind of where you want your receiver to run more along the numbers and give your quarterback a window of room towards that sideline to be able to put that ball. Because right there, he just had to throw it to the sidelines.
Kebrick Wiggins defending on the play. Kebrick Wiggins.
3rd and 10.
So now we have a 3rd down. 10 yards to go for a first down for the Wildcats. Devin Black started at quarterback under pressure, lost one over the middle.
Finally got an interception.
By the Tigers. He threw it over the middle. And it was
finally got an interception. Let's go.
Silman Craig with the interception for the Jackson State Tigers.
Yeah, that's when Devin Black wants back. I mean, he's trying to make too much out of this. You can see it's a jump pass. He can see the pressures coming right in his face. And when he did that, he just couldn't put enough on it. And he had 2 defenders out there basically on your tight end there, and it just wasn't a good decision.
Y'all see that? Finally got a pick, man.
And you could see
Finally got a pick.
Craig playing center field there, spotting the football coming over.
Thank God.
And making
I've
the
been
play.
wanting that for
Interesting about him is he was actually coached by
Cameron Selman.
Prime.
I'm not surprised either, man.
So
He's a
the
ball hawk.
relationship goes way back. So after the turnover, Shedeur Sanders and Jackson State goes back on offense. This time, first down. Sanders looking down the field, has a man, puts it right on the money, and it's a completed pass to Keith Corbin, who started out this game with a couple of nice catches.
You cannot defend that, period. When you have a perfect pass like that, again, it was good defense. He put that ball, dropped it right in the bucket, and she called it. I mean, look at that. That's perfect. Only your receiver can get you. Your defender's right there.
Man, that interception was just what they needed.
Jackson State, after the first down, they go to Marshall, and there's no room at all as you see the Wildcats coming up tough inside on defense.
Yeah, that's the way you want to play defense. The defensive line all right there. They had 3-4 players right there to meet them. Good reads, and they all stayed in their lanes. They didn't give him a chance to cut. There was no cutback lane.
So second down and about 9. He picked up, give him a yard on the play, but really good defense by the Wildcats there. We are still in the first quarter. Bethune Cookman taking on Jackson State in Jackson. Shedeur Sanders at quarterback for the Tigers. Hands again to Marshall, and once again, that front of the Wildcats from Bethune Cookman playing tough inside. Number 9, Tony Bowman, one of the Wildcats there on the stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, look, that offensive line got no surge there, and there's nowhere to go.
He just stacked it up. You're right. There was no room in the end on that play at all. So third down, 9 yards to go. Stop him right at the line of scrimmage again. Sanders with an empty backfield. Under pressure, the ball is loose, and there's a mad scramble for it. We'll see. And the Bethune Cookman say they have it, and they do. The Wildcats come away with the football as Sanders is hit from the blind side. The ball comes out, and the Wildcats are there to make the recovery. Number 12, it looked like it was Ontario Johnson. We'll have to check that.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. And look at, I mean, just the dive. I thought for sure that Jackson State recovered it, but he must have some strong arms pulling that thing in there.
So the pressure for
Urban Network says upset alert. Shout out to Urban Network, man.
And then there's a scramble for the football, and we'll see who came up with it. But what a big break for Bethune Cookman, forcing a turnover.
Yeah, Bethune's playing hard, man. I got to give him credit.
To Kevin Thomas. So now the Wildcats will go with another quarterback. Shannon Patrick is in at quarterback for Bethune. He tries the slant pattern. Last time they got 26 yards. This time it's an incompleted pass. So Patrick, he started the year as the starter. He's a transfer from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Like a lot of these quarterbacks, he won a state championship in high school at Wellington High School. 6 touchdown passes on the year with 7 interceptions for Patrick. But coach also said he likes his leadership ability and the respect he gets from his teammates as they come out, and they'll have it 2nd and 10 with Shannon Patrick, who actually started quite a few games when he was at Arkansas Pine Bluff. So he comes in here with a lot of experience, and now he's going to get his shot. 2nd and 10. Turns.
Number 5. He's explosive.
Who takes it straight up the middle, and that's a nice gain on the ground by the Wildcats.
Yeah, Bird's going to be a big key, right? So if you can get some successful yards, and I know everyone says this, but it's so true. If your running game can at least be consistent, you have to keep the linebackers in. They have to honor that run. It creates some gaps, and it creates, quite frankly, which I think is always the least amount of used part of the field, is that middle of the field. If you get the linebacker sucked in, you've got a nice little room there to be able to drop to your tight end or an inside slant.
Quayshawn Bird, 24 carries for 176 yards last week, but that time Bird on the carry and not a lot going on there as he's hit by Cameron Silman. Craig again. What kind of a game is he having so far? He's been huge early in this ballgame.
You said not a lot's going on. There was a ton of Jackson State going on because they were blitzing about 9 people. They were like, we're selling out and we're getting there, and they did. They got there.
So 4th down with about 2 yards to go, and we will see exactly what they decide to do. And
watch out for the fake.
We're going to see Bethune Cookman punt it away. That will bring on number 49, Ben Lennon, the Australian. He punted earlier in the ball game out of his own end zone, so I'm sure he likes this situation a lot better. And the kick is away. And it will be fair, caught right at the 11-yard line. So that is where Jackson State will take over. So far it's been a battle of turnovers. No score in Jackson. We'll be right back.
So from what I saw is what I expected. Jackson State is playing hard, but so is BCU. BCU is playing desperate. And like I said earlier in the show, um, BCU, their record is not an indication of how good they are. They do have talent. Number 5 is talented. Their tight end, who's 6'6", 250, is very talented. They got some skill players. So they're not scrubs. Um, what Jackson State has to do is eliminate their penalties especially on offense, one play at a time, one play at a time. You got all day to put up points. You got all day to execute your plays. So once that happens, it's all good. Shout out to the Grand Fam who's in the building. Hit the like button. Show love to the channel. Roger Williams says cameras are horrible. They got them 19. Yeah, the cameras are terrible, man. Cameras are terrible. I don't know what they trying to do, but those cameras are terrible, terrible. In the words of that big ass player Charles Barkley, terrible. Larry Griffin says, "Just wait, JSU needed to get their rhythm to move the ball." This whole season, JSU has never been a first quarter team. Shout out to the homie Urban Network, man. He said Florida in the house, moving furniture, FAMU, BCU, say something. Yeah, shout out to Florida. The most talented state in America. Some would say the most talented state in the world. If you come from Florida and you're an athlete, you are somebody. Florida has all the talent out there. I mean, they're doing their thing. And if you're a coach,
Dallas went to
you'll
Trinity
be
Christian
wise
High School.
to
Was a
recruit in
four-star
Florida.
recruit. Left high school early to join Jackson State.
I see some buffering. Oh boy, they doing that again. They doing that again. They are doing that again. Wow. Y'all see that? Goddamn ESPN. All right, it's back on. Another holding call.
So there's Y.N. Myers with the call, and it will back up Jackson State. Y.N. Myers, our referee for the day.
Y'all got all day to make plays. Y'all still holding the ball.
So now it'll be 1st and 15 yards to go for Jackson State. You see Tigers.
Yeah, that's ESPN messing up the volume because I got the volume up.
0-4 in SWAC play, and the give is to Marshall straight ahead. And again, Marshall with a short pickup for the Tigers. So you have to say early on that Bethune Cookman front is doing an excellent job.
Exactly, and again, it's about integrity, right? When you have defensive line integrity, that means you're stymieing the offensive line, and you're creating like there's no real gaps there. Everyone's covering their gap, and really, with that means you trust your teammates. When you get out of your gap, it means you tend to.
2nd down and about 10 to go, and there you see the completed pass from Sanders to Malachi Weidman on the play. A good catch over there, but he's going to be about 4 yards shy of the 1st down. So we're going to have another 3rd down coming up for Jackson.
Yeah, real quick to finish my thought, though, when you get out of your gaps, that means you don't trust your other teammate to handle their gap, and you start trying to do too much, and that's where big seams happen.
So the Tigers come up, and it's 3rd down and 6 yards to go for a first down. Sanders from an empty backfield looking to pass. Pressure is coming again, and Shedeur Sanders goes down at about the
Man,
9-yard line.
Bethune Cookman is whooping the offensive line right now.
Of the Bethune Cookman Wildcats for Jamarcus Reeves, the 6'3", 265-pound senior from Miami.
Look at him coming off the edge. He just kept going. Nice move there. He stayed with it. That's about the 2nd or 3rd time I've seen him create some havoc. Sometimes you don't get the sack. You create a lot of havoc, and he certainly did that there.
So Bethune Cookman making a statement in this ball game early with their defensive play. The punt from in his own end zone. Bailey Rayborn, and it's going to be fielded around the 45-yard line, and maybe he picked up a yard, but that's going to be about it. But we do have another flag down on the play as the Tigers try to make a return. So we're going to see, well, we bring.
All right, it's commercial break. Another penalty before it's commercial break. Another penalty on JSU. Face mask. Face mask. I've been talking about this all week about penalties.
He's hurting more than his foot right about now.
4:27 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was Tony Gray right there. All right, it's commercial break. Penalties, penalties, penalties. Wow. Wow. Penalties, penalties, penalties. This is just an atrocity, man. Urban Network says BCU lost a lot of players during COVID year, but this team's still going to play all 4 quarters, win or lose. Yeah, they'll play hard. They keep the games close, and they're doing a great job today. They're playing out of this world. They got good field position, just like IP Freely just stated. They're doing their thing. And on this channel, Raw Truth, when a team is playing well, even though I'm rooting for JSU, when the team is playing well, I give them the props. I'm not going to give them the props after the game. I'll give them the props before and during the game. Because that Bethune Cookman defensive line is wrecking shop right now. They're beating them like they stole something. This is a beatdown, man. Yeah, he said these O-lines are fucking bad. Yeah, it's bad right now, man. They're getting mollywopped. Yeah, this is a beatdown. And Tony Gray, come on, Tony Gray, you're a veteran. You're not supposed to be making having penalties like that. Be better than that, man. Commercial break. Man, if JSU had a top-notch O-line, oh my. I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. This is my prediction. My prediction is JSU will go into the transfer portal, and they're going to get some reinforcements on that offensive line. The difference is these players that they'll bring in for the O-line has game experience. This is just a hunch. Oh, we just missed it. They just showed it.
I don't know what they saw, but I tell you what, that play, he was throwing it there the whole time. A good pre-game pre-play read, excuse me.
Who was that on?
He knows exactly where he's going. He put it just on the inside, And the receiver did a great job because he was covered well. Did a great job towards the end of bending back enough where the defender lost his ankle.
Bethune Cookman just scored.
On the coverage for the Tigers, but he just couldn't get there. That pass was right on the money, and it was a very good catch on the play, and it's a touchdown for the Wildcats.
Here's how they scored on that play. Number five is a young player, and he's very promising.
Someone may have tipped it inside, but either way, it's no good. So that will take it to the break.
Number 5 is a young player, and he's promising. The problem is JSU rotates their DBs too much. And if I'm JSU, I'm not rotating my DBs. Not in this game. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I know y'all see it, man. I know you see it. Man, Urban Network out here crunk right now. Urban Network out here crunk. We got some OMGs in here. We got some people that's shocked right now. I blame JSU for that touchdown. They put in a backup corner. They keep switching these DBs. And when I brought it up on the video, they was like, oh, that's just a scheme. But I thought it was weird to me that the D-line and linebackers don't switch, but the DBs do. We got a Hell Wildcats. Hey, y'all got to talk y'all stuff, man. Y'all winning. Said Coach Brian better head to the stadium because JSU's playing cocky right now. They shouldn't. We got a we okay. Yeah, a little punch in the mouth. They just got to respond, put up some points, and play their game. I've said a bunch of times that the only ones that can stop JSU is JSU. And that's what JSU. Really, ESPN, you got to be ashamed of yourselves on being so just inconsistent on the coverage.
29 yards, and it took 4 seconds. You know, Terry Sims loves those kind of drives as they go down for the touchdown pass that went 29 yards to Dylan Lee. We had a number correction there, with some of the Bethune Cookman guys have different numbers on today. We had it as 84 as Ellington, but it's actually Dylan Lee wearing number 84 today. So we want to correct that right now. That was Dylan Lee on the touchdown grab.
Yeah, I think sometimes these teams, they play rock, paper, scissors before the game to see who gets what number sometimes. It can throw us for a loop for a little bit, but I think we did get that right. Great job, Butch.
So the Wildcats will kick it back off to the Tigers, and the Tigers will try to jumpstart their offense still in the first quarter in this ball game. Kickoff fielded around the 8-yard line. And some room to go on the return. How about that? It's Rucker on the return.
Javante Rucker. Oh, turf monster.
And finally, the ball on the ground. What a play right there by Javante Rucker on the return for the Jackson State Tigers.
He made about,
snapped out of it so far.
Easily. Great run there. Good blocking. People staying with. There's 1. There's 2. 3. And there he goes, gets tripped up right at the end. That's probably a touchdown-saving tackle right there. And you can see it coming right at you. Not a whole lot of room. He just made room. You love when your returner makes their own room there.
Javante Rucker, the 6-foot, 170-pound freshman from Ocala, Florida. And we might ought to say Warren Newman, the big punt returner for the Tigers, will not play today. He leads the SWAC in punt returns.
Warren Newman's not playing.
Returner. So guys,
makes sense.
Step up, and what a job he did right there.
Well, that's a step up. Now let's see if this sparks and gives the Tigers some energy that they most definitely need.
So far on defense, it's been all Wildcats on this game. This time, Shedeur Sanders goes upstairs again.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
overshot Keith Corbin there, who may have had a step on the defender pass, just a little too tall there.
Yeah, he did. He had a little bit more than a step there, and that's one time actually he was just inaccurate with the football. Usually he could place him right up in there and just let him a little bit too deep.
Yeah, Corbin actually had a couple of steps there.
Yeah.
Number 26, Caleb Sutherland on the defense, but he was a little bit behind the intended receiver. So Jackson State now looking at a 2nd and 10. 4 minutes and 1 second to go here in the first quarter. And they go to the run again. It's Marshall on the sweep to the right side, and Marshall is
I don't know why they trying to run against BCU.
Reeves, one of the Wildcats there for the stop. So is Ontario Johnson.
Marcus Reeves playing his tail off already this game. I mean, he has come out revved and ready to go. He is a force. That's probably the 3rd or 4th time an impact play was made by him already this game.
So big play. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. So you can see the communications there between Sanders and his offensive line. They would like to get something going with the run, but the priority right now is to convert on 3rd and 12. Sanders under pressure. That may be a fumble. We'll have to see what the officials say. He was hit.
Man, they are hitting him.
Number 50, Caleb Graham, got on that football in a hurry, and he did it alertly, and it's a good thing for Jackson.
They are hitting him.
I squirmed when I saw him get hit. I thought he got hit behind that back of that leg. And those are dangerous right there. But he bowed back, and Sanders jumps right back up. So good for him, not being able to get hurt. But at first I thought, he may have gotten injured on a hit like that from that backside. He wasn't ready for it.
That was Jamarcus Reeves again.
Oh, they're going to punt it.
Pressure in the backfield. He was the one who hit Sanders on the play.
Wasted opportunity.
Punt it away. And they will kick the football back to the Wildcats. This time it's going to be, tries a little punch kick, but they cannot down it inside the 10. So Jackson State, the Wildcats will start 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as that little punt was pooched in there. So of course, they were trying to down it inside the 10.
Pooch punch drive you nuts because you kind of say, okay, we're not going to go for it because we're going to pin you deep. And then you make the punt and your net punt becomes not very good. You don't gain a whole lot of ground. You might as well have gone for it. When that happens. So when you pooch punt, a lot of conversation happens on that sidelines when he on the phone completed, whether it be the punter or the coverage team.
That was Lane McGregor, and the punt was only good for about 31 yards there as it goes out of the end zone. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, starting at their own 20-yard line. Shannon Patrick at quarterback turns and he gives it straight ahead, and the Wildcats will pick up about 4. So they're getting some tough yardage inside. Once again on the carry, Quayshawn Bird, who had a huge game last week. We touched on it a little while ago, but he's their main go-to guy.
Coach Terry Timms talked about playing 4 quarters of football, right? And he said, we got to make sure we keep our attention. Well, one thing for sure, when you go up against Jackson State Tigers, you look at the film, they've got your attention. So certainly this first quarter, the Wildcats have their attention now. Can they maintain this focus as they're moving forward? But they are certainly playing well right now.
Ended up with a 5-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 5 to go for the Wildcats. Patrick looking to throw, fires, has an open man. He has the 1st down and more. Still on his feet. A great job after the reception. Right there was number 87. But
they're going no huddle. They're going no huddle.
Davino Ellington. So Ellington switched from 84 to 87. So that's where he went.
Look, I'm glad you get to keep up with it because I was lost.
So a great catch there and a 1st down for the Wildcats.
Again, this Wildcat offense looks solid. I mean, now besides that first drive, right, where they just
what's up, TB? I see you, brother.
And what was good is they collectively brought things back together. Shannon Patrick goes back in there, and it seemed to have calmed the offense.
So Patrick on 2nd and 10. Fires near the sidelines. He has his man. It's a short gain. Once again, that's Ellington who hauled in the catch. And that's going to set up a manageable 3rd down. As you see, Terry Sims on the sidelines there. And he's not happy about something, but I know he's happy with that scoreboard right now with his team.
Yeah, he's definitely happy about that.
clock ticks down here in the first quarter. A big 3rd down and 5 yards to go for the Wildcats. Shannon Patrick did not start, but he's been in every possession since the first.
Tigers are coming.
Blitz is on. Patrick down near the sideline. Has a man, put it right in there. And that's the first catch of the day for Kamari Averett, the big 6'6".
I told you about that tight
end.
end. They're going to tap the safety.
Wanted to see.
Oh, you see
everything I said on that
Come
video.
on, let's go. Let's go. And again, a beautiful pass.
Man.
Right up in there, and you're right. Averett, you talked about him in the beginning of the game. He's a guy who can make some things happen, and there's nothing better than putting up one of your best offensive weapons and putting him up there and let him go get it.
Yeah,
Well, that will be the end of the first quarter.
I see JSU didn't want to play today. JSU didn't want to play today, I see. You know what's crazy? I made a video about the Jackson State team have to be consistent. And people were commenting and saying, oh, they're going to be fine. They're going to be. You are what the film tells you. And what the film says is Jackson State is inconsistent. They get penalties. False starts, misalignments, the whole 9 yards. Slow starts in the first quarter. Switching out DBs left and right. And that tight end, man, Kamari Averett, he's been a problem all year. He leads the SWAC in yards, receptions. He's a tight end. He's the real deal. And they're going to go to Kamari Averett all night this game. They're going to go to Kamari Averett until Jackson State switches it up. That's what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah, Urban Network, they let BCU tight end get going. He will go beast mode. Yep. Film don't lie. I seen him play against UTEP. And UTEP, what? Well, UTEP's 5-1, 6-1. He was killing UTEP. Yeah, Everett came to play. The scouts are looking. He ain't going to disappoint today. Jamar Harris is not prepared at all. Look defeated already. And that's the importance of Coach Prime. Coach Prime, he's irreplaceable for JSU. He is the heartbeat for JSU. When he gets on them, they usually fix their, inconsistent play. Now he's not there. They sure did. They only lost to UTEP by 10 points, and that game was closer than what their score was. Bethune Cookman only got blown out one game, and that's against UCF. But besides that, they should have been, and I said 6-1. I need to correct the score. They should have been 5-2. Bethune could have been should have been 5-2. Will Jackson State wake up? That's the question right now. Will they wake up? Yeah, JSU not prepared at all. If JSU loses this game, I'll give them credit. I tell you one thing. If JSU loses this game, I'm not going to be out here be missing for long hours not to respond. I'll be a man and give the team props. Because
into the second quarter.
It's all about the HBCUs and exposure. That's what it's about.
Out in front, leading the 20th ranked Jackson State Tigers 6-0 as we get ready to start the second quarter. There you see Terry Sims. He comes in, as we said on the top. His team is 0-7 overall, and they are 0-4 in SWAC play. But, as we said at the top, their play has been a lot better than that record.
Yeah, they just had some major mistakes that caused quick turnovers and scores that didn't allow them to get back in the game. And so far, they've been able to keep that from happening.
Shannon Patrick turns and gives it to Quayshawn Bird with
Oh,
a
they
nice
missing
move in the
tackles.
backfield. What a
They
juke.
missing
And he picks up
assignments.
another first down. A nice
They don't
run
want to play
by
today.
Quayshawn
I
Bird.
see.
Yeah, they're doing something we haven't seen really, creating some big gaps and holes in that Tiger defensive line. Look at it right here coming at you. And then nice move, shake and bakes, number 45, and gets another 6-7 yards on that. Harvey Miller Jr. kind of left him standing still.
So first down for the Wildcats, and Bird is hit in the backfield and dropped. A great defensive play there by Keontae Hampton, the big 6'2", 220-pound senior. He read that play.
Yeah, that's one of those. He said, "Forget that." Right? You're not. And he went right through the gap.
Shout out to Keontae Hampton.
Shot through there, grabbed that running back, did not let him even get going. And I like the sure tackle, right? A lot of times you see these younger players, and even in the NFL, you see them. They hit. They're not really ready to wrap up. They just hit because they want that highlight play, the blow-up play. That was a great tackle.
Shannon Patrick now on 2nd and 13 after the loss of 3. Fires, completes his pass, has Darryl Powell again, and a nice catch by Powell. And he's yanked down there. So good tackle right away, but the Bethune Cookman Wildcats are moving the football.
Watch out for Kamari Everett. Red zone.
Great completion and great throw. And you're right. Patrick's looking really good. Didn't get the start, but came in there in the second series, and so far has done a really good job with the offense.
Well, Patrick is the transfer, as we mentioned before, from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Started several games at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Did a good job. Came in here this year. And
inconsistency. That's the problem.
Been the starter. Now
Benford,
you see
that's the problem. Inconsistency.
Splitting time a little bit, but right now Patrick has the hot hand as they go to the strong side. Moves it to the right side. Pitches to Quayshawn Bird that way. Bird tries to turn the corner, but nothing but Tigers there to say hello. A big play.
The best play the defense made all day.
Yeah, Devontae Davis, one of those guys up there. And again, they had plenty of people. It was kind of hard to pick the numbers. Look, that whole defensive line just slants that left, and they are just stopping it right there.
92 is there. Justin Rajan. He's there, one of the Tigers there to hustle up on that play.
Keontae Hampton as well.
So that will set up, you mentioned the Keontae Hampton also in there. So the field goal attempt coming up from 31 yards for Bethune-Cookman. The kick is on its way, and it is good. Dylan Mognahan drilling the kick to add 3 more to the Bethune-Cookman lead. They tacked on 3 more, so it's now a 9-0.
9-0 game. Bethune-Cookman, credit to y'all. And I'm not totally surprised. I've been trying to warn everybody that this team is no slouch. You realize I didn't even make a prediction on this game. I did not make a prediction on this game because I watched the film. And the film dictates and it states that Bethune-Cookman is no pushover. They're not a pushover. Their problem was playing below competition. They should have been 5-2 like Urban Network says. Shout out to Urban Network, good brother. They should have been in the discussion of competing in the SWAC East. Urban Network said, this is a BCU who has less scholarships due to school funds. Bethune-Cookman, their coaching is not a problem. Terry Sims is a respected coach. He's a great X's and O's coach. Their problem is the AD, athletic directors. I don't know the brothers personally, but not getting enough funds, not getting enough equity for the school is what's hurting them. Shout out to Marion Rouse. Credit to you. You've been on your guns lately, and you've been consistent. And shout out to you. Shout out to Bethune-Cookman. It's all love here. I'm disappointed that JSU's losing this way only because they're being inconsistent and they're not playing smart football. They're not playing discipline. They're not doing those things. Beast Mode says either TC Taylor's play calling has been shunned and overvalued, or he's being obsessively conservative right now. It's bothering me. Also, Shadur is too relaxed for that. Way too mellow. Yeah, Shadur can't be relaxed in this game.
Swagger and some of that energy. We talked about it off the top. The only
Shadur
thing
can't
be
be
missing,
relaxed
it
in this
wasn't going
game.
to be game plan and X's and O's, but it was going to be that energy, that undescribable Sanders mystique that when he's around, you're going to get excited. And that's what they need right now. And they need to call on their quarterback and do just that. Shador
Jeremy said,
needs to bring
everyone
some of
calm
that
down.
his own
Man,
Sanders
it's
energy.
easy
And
to, but man, that
you weren't
score.
with us at the top. Deion Sanders,
It's hard to say to calm down with looking at that
is
score.
not coaching today. He had another foot surgery, a little cleanup situation. So he's out for this week. So instead, Gary Harrell, the interim head coach, the associate head coach to Deion Sanders, Gary Harrell handling the Tigers on the sidelines as you see the Wildcats kick it off. And so the short kick, it's going to be returned from about the 15. It's Rucker. He takes it up near the 30 to about the 29. Now that last drive, of course, for Bethune Cookman went 10 plays, 65 yards, and it culminated with that 32-yard field goal attempt right there by their kicker. And that put the score out to 9-0 Bethune Cookman.
Patrick's 5 of 6 on the day. That's solid, right? Not throwing a ton, but when he's throwing, he's effective. 83%. That is fantastic. And a touchdown.
Homecoming hangover. Facts. That's what it's looking like
so
out there.
Shadur Sanders and the Tigers offense are set to go back on the attack again. Good field position, ball resting near the 29-yard line, and they go to Marshall, and Marshall picks up some tough yards inside. He's going to get about 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, this is where the offensive line of Jackson State needs to step up, right? Create these holes, and then Marshall, he runs hard. They need to give him a little bit of room, and then he can start creating something, and that will open up that pass for Sanders.
2nd down and 5, a good run of 5 yards there. Marshall again picking his way. Now he's out into the open. Great move by Marshall.
Marshall should have cut
He
out.
has the 1st down for the Tigers. And
Marshall should have cut out. He would have
had
had more yards.
To see if they could break him off the line of scrimmage.
Good run, though.
Watch this play, Butch. There's no hole at the beginning. There's none. Marquis slams that hole shut, but he moves just enough inside, creates that hole and gap right after that initial, it was closed, and gets a great run out of that.
Tigers on 1st and 10 now. Sanders going up top and a great grab there. What a catch and throw. That's Josh Lanier hauling in that one, but what a nice catch that was.
Call that a snatch. He snatched that out of the air, didn't he? I mean, what a beautiful catch. Boom, just snatches it out there, reaches it at high point, both hands, nothing, not trying to get too fancy, but great catch there.
Josh Lanier, the transfer from Alabama, he was a walk-on there. And now we have a man down on the field, so we're going to pause for a timeout here in the booth with an injury. We'll be right.
All right, it's timeout. Yeah, the offensive line is playing with no passion, brother. You got your coach out there in pain. He's in foot pain every single day. And you can't even come out here and fight for your coach. Coach Prime has done everything for these brothers, man. I mean, everything for these brothers. And you could at least fought for him. This takes nothing against Bethune Cookman. I told you in videos, and many YouTubers have. Shout out to Swipe Buzz. Shout out to the CFL podcast. Shout out to those brothers. To Maul's Leader Sports Network. Shout out to him. Cut Day Sports. These brothers have told you about Bethune Cookman and that you should never sleep on this team. The FAMU fans know it. The MEAC fans know it. Their record is not who they are. Their record is not who they are. So JSU, you could come out here almighty and think you could whoop on every team, but this beast, I predict. Remember when I had I predicted the top 3 teams in the SWAC. I had Bethune Cookman on that list with FAMU. You know why? Because they're talent. They have talent. They just had some bad luck. Against Prairie View A&M was one of the most unluckiest games. They was going to score. It would have been the game that was going to score. And if they would have scored, it would have been a game winner. Prairie View blocked the kick, went back and scored a touchdown in game. Bethune Cookman has dealt with bad luck. So you should never sleep on anybody. It's time to wake up, JSU. It's time to wake up.
The move here, as they've gotten a couple of nice runs from Santee Marshall, and Jackson State is marching on. This has been their first sustained drive. Really
JSU done pissed me off today. And the JSU fans, shout out to y'all.
I mentioned a moment ago.
Shout out to
you really
y'all.
got to look at your offensive line and say, okay, you guys got to control this line of scrimmage, because the Wildcats have been ruling the line right now.
So Shedeur Sanders turns and he hands to Marshall again, and this time the Wildcats stepped up strong inside.
This play calling's been conservative, man. Y'all notice that?
See, they are just,
this ain't no TC Taylor play call.
Won't stay blocked, right? I mean, they're not staying blocked. The initial attack by the Tigers are good, but they are just shuffling, siding their feet, and they just won't stay blocked.
Ontario Johnson, one of the guys in the backfield again, making a big play. So they
run into it again?
Run again. This time it's Marshall around the outside, has some room.
Wow.
And Marshall with a nice gain for the Tigers.
What the hell?
It looks to me like they're going to have more success around off tackle on the outside than they are interior.
What are you
This
doing?
is the second or third time I recall already that on that outside, they're able to turn that edge, and they're able to run it up, get a few more yards. Don't expect to see them stay on the outside.
So this time they go to Marshall straight ahead again. And you see number 12, Ontario Johnson. Once again, he's at the
running.
Coach says, he's
JD Martin need to get in the game too. He's explosive.
It's a transfer from East Mississippi Community College.
Yeah, this ain't TC Taylor's play calls.
He came into this game with 62 tackles, 36 of which were solo tackles. So he's extremely active from his linebacking post. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Shedeur Sanders goes for the end zone, has a man wide open.
Let's go. Let's go.
And that is a touchdown for the Tigers.
Wake up.
JSU is on the board with that touchdown strike from Shedeur Sanders to Weidman.
Y'all got to wake up, man.
Big time for Tigers, right? I mean,
respect your opponents.
The way they want to play at this point. And they
that was a nice pass. Look at that. Weidman going to be special.
Perfect strike.
Weidman going to be special.
Well,
he's got to learn the plays. He's going to be special.
Trouble protecting him earlier in this ball game, but there on this drive, you saw the
give Shedeur 2 extra seconds, and he'll find a play.
In for the touchdown. So on for the extra point attempt is Glenn Misick. And his kick is up and is good. And just
he almost missed the field goal. Good Lord. I can't wait for that 5-star kicker to come back. Come in next year.
Tigers on the move after the touchdown.
All right. I'm about to cook. Right now. It's commercial break. I'm about to cook. Again, Urban Network. This is an intelligent brother. He knows his football. This is not TC Taylor's plays. These are not TC Taylor's plays at all. Yeah, that was a broken coverage. They lucked up on that one. That was a broken coverage. These are not TC Taylor's plays. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Coach Pond got to make a phone call, but he got to let them know to let TC call his plays. Let him call his plays. Because Jackson State on offense, despite the touchdown, they look like week 1 Jackson State on offense. Right, Beast Mode? This isn't TC Taylor's play. The creativity that we saw for the past 2 weeks is not here. These are not his plays. And I know Coach Harrell's a good man, but could he possibly told TC, hey, we're going to run things this way? That probably happened. What they need to do is let the coordinators do their jobs. Let the coordinators do their jobs. Don't try to, because I'm not no fool. That's not his plays. I'm not a fool. I wasn't born yesterday. Yeah, they're forcing a run on the play calls. Now, Coach Harrell is a running backs coach. Repeat, Coach Harrell is a running backs coach. That's a coincidence, isn't it? Urban Network says TC uses motion. It creates mismatch, exploit defense's weaknesses. Facts. What the hell is going on? What in the blue hell is going on right now? Jackson State still scored, but I'm ticked off because of I know they're better than this. He said, y'all about to give Coach Prime a heart attack. Big Spell One, what's good, my brother? He said, JSU got to get it together. You got to play for your coach, man.
Yard TD pass
JSU dancing good. It's good. Get crossed.
And just like that,
they dancing on the kickoff.
Yeah,
get the energy up.
Tigers are right back in this ball game.
Yeah, and the kickoff team looks like that's giving them a lot of energy right there. We talked about they need to find a way for them to get some of that prime.
Rep your schools, man.
They were looking for.
If you're a BCU fan, rep your school. If you're a FAMU fan, rep your school. If you're a Jackson State fan, rep your school. Keep that energy up, man.
Credit to that offensive line. I think they did exactly what they needed to do.
So this time, low kickoff. This time they're trying to keep the Wildcats from having a big return. And they finally got the ball picked up.
Ooh,
and there was a little hole, but he couldn't quite make it to that crease. So they will start just shy of the 20-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown and take another look again, as you're going to see Shedeur Sanders with the 28-yard TD strike to Malachi Weidman.
Yeah, great shot there. I mean, just look at just right in the basket. He's 6 and 9 on the day.
Hey, raise your cup for that touchdown if you're on the sideline.
Oh, did he just say raise your cup for that touchdown, man? He must have been in the hood or something.
Jackson State can put some points on the board, and they showed it right there on that possession.
Wake up, defense.
In the SWAC when it comes to scoring, and that time the offense got rolled.
Believe. You got to believe, man.
Bethune Cookman can pick up where they left off. Shannon Patrick still at quarterback here in the second quarter. Turns and
that's what I'm talking about. Believe.
That was blown up in the backfield. A big hit by the Tigers.
Party in the backfield.
Wake up.
What that was. I don't know what they call that stunt.
James Houston. Wow.
I don't know what they call the stunt, but that's party in the backfield. 4 guys in there almost all simultaneously. Look at that.
That's the defense I want to see right there.
Houston is so quick off of that edge. I mean, that's why he's such a great pass rusher. I know you mentioned on the top he had 11.5 tackles for loss, and that was a perfect example why he has so many. Make it 12.5.
Yeah, and Jamoni Crane, he's the one that big number 96 got out there too, and it was supposed to be trapping on him to move him. He didn't move at all, and that's what created that easy tackle right there.
So a loss of 3 on the play. Shannon Patrick's going to throw it this time, fires it deep, and there was a misread there, a miscommunication on that route because nobody was out there where he threw that football.
No.
But we were talking about Houston. Houston's a transfer from Florida. And I've been talking to Coach Prime a couple of weeks ago when he talked about what
James Houston will get drafted. I repeat,
said,
James Houston will get drafted. He better get drafted.
He said he plays with bad intentions.
And that's what you want. You want a guy that just wants, and again, whistle to whistle, a guy with bad intentions. That's what every coach is looking for and has a motor and just won't quit. This is a big play for Patrick right here. Third and 13. Let's see what they come up with.
So Patrick looking to throw it again. Had a nice pocket for a while, but then he overshot his receiver near the sideline. He was trying to connect with Darryl.
Let's go.
Once again,
let's go, defense. Let's go.
Pressure his way, and he may have had to unload that ball a little.
Believe.
I'm not sure why, but they don't seem to look in the middle or have any patterns that go in the middle or cross the middle much. Except for those couple of slant plays they had earlier, everything else goes wide, and they have multiple receivers going wide. To me, that middle looks open.
The last time, though, it was black in at quarterback.
Yeah, Warren Newman is out this game. So you can tell he's missed.
All the potential passes. I agree with you.
That was a jump pass, though.
It looks like they've been to the outside. So the punt coming up here from Lennon. Gets his kick away. Line drive type kick, and a fair catch called for Rucker, but he decided better on it, got out of the way, which is the smart thing to do when in doubt. Let it hit, and he did. So the Tigers will go back on offense, trailing by 2 in this ballgame.
Yeah, unless maybe he's understands the bounce of the ball better too, because it looked like he was going to catch it. And he's like, you know what? I think it's going to bounce backward and gain about 6 yards.
Why we have a chance before J-State gets on offense.
Facts. Protect Shedeur.
Outstanding job all year long as the defensive coordinator for the Tigers. They have the number 1 defense in the SWAC. And the last couple of possessions, we saw why.
Without question, again, they've done more different style of stunts. It's one thing to say we blitz, but they come at you a lot of different ways. And whatever he told them, they certainly got a lot more aggressive that last series.
So Shedeur Sanders comes out and hits Corbin right away.
That's a late hit.
Going to be
They ain't
close
gonna
to
call
another
it.
first down.
It's all good. They ain't gonna call it.
A little bit shy, but a good possession.
Let the players play.
And a good opportunity to maybe move the sticks.
Yeah, he got knocked into the water.
Number 20, Amari Hill Robinson was fighting him there. Sanders passes to the other side.
Go,
what a
go,
move
go.
by Malachi Weidman. Still on his feet, finally yanked down at about the 24-yard line. But that was a big man play right there by Malachi Weidman.
Turn up, young man. Turn up.
An absolute big man play is what you call it. That is exciting. Watch this little, it's just a juke move. He just drops that defender on his feet, and he just can't catch up. Good tackle there to save the touchdown, though.
This time, Sanders rolling to his right. He decides to slide down. One more note on Weidman. He's a transfer from Tennessee, but he's a big receiver, 6'5", 190. And, you know, he wasn't really that much in the mix when the season started, but he's worked his way into it, and now he's one of Sanders' main targets.
You know what I like about the way Sanders plays? He's just looking for the open man. I think Coach Sanders talked about that. Coach Prime talked about that when we had a couple weeks ago. Conversation. His job is not to pick who's his favorite receivers are. His job is to find the receiver that's open and get him the ball, and I think that's exactly what he does.
Pass to Weidman was good for 30. This time
Go,
Sanders
go,
second down goes for the end zone, and it's caught, but he's out of bounds. So what a nice catch right there by Josh Lanier, but he just ran out of real estate there, or the Tigers would have had another touchdown.
Yeah, Sanders just threw it too far to the left, basically. I mean, just didn't give him room to even try to put his feet back.
Yeah, Shedur's rusty in this game, but then again, the offensive line is not blocking.
So it looks like someone may have switched the light on the Jackson State sidelines, because
they finally woke up
here, and the Tigers
gotta get a
score. 3rd and 11. Sanders fires wide open as his receiver, and he's going to be very close to the first down. They may mark it just shy of it. That's Corbin. Corbin.
That should be a first down right there.
But it's really going to depend on the spot.
Right.
That's got to be a first down.
Turned on that light switch. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Prime is FaceTiming him on the sidelines.
Yeah, they need a touchdown, no field goals.
To happen. And I would really be surprised if he's not there in halftime on some type of video message in this day.
So they're crediting Jackson State with the first down on the play. Corbin apparently got enough for the first down for J-State, and you can see Coach Harrell there fired up about that on the sidelines. I mean, he's got his team moving now.
I like the poise of the Tigers, right? They obviously didn't start off the way they wanted, but they seem to have good poise, and they collected themselves, and they're moving forward.
Yeah, they're trailing by 2, 9-7, Bethune Cookman.
ESPN, y'all got to do better with y'all editing, man, on SWAC games, HBCUs. ESPN, I got a bone to pick with you, man. Now, we know we use your networks, and we like watching your stuff, but for the love of the Most High, can you at least respect the HBCUs to put their audios better, the camera angles better? Can you at least do that? Can you at least do that? See, we need to create a network for our people that understands our people and our culture, that respects us. And I'm not feeling the respect from these shine networks. See, I'm not going to sugarcoat today. I'm not going to do it. This is disgraceful. This is not a great representation. And you should be embarrassed for what you are doing. They might as well put this game on BET or something. And I'm not really a BET fan because it's not owned by us anymore. But that's another discussion for a different day. Beast Mode says ESPN is so damn disrespectful. We need BET at least. TV One, somebody. Urban Network says SWAC refs got to be looked at after the season. They've been tripping all these games, penalties, ball spots. Yeah, SWAC refs, you should be evaluated too. The game is not on right now. It is on, but it's on commercial break. It's on commercial break. But yeah, ESPN, they're messing up the audio. I got this on full blast on my computer. They're messing up. The commercials are too loud, like the brother just stated. The camera angles are bad. But y'all got to do better. Because if this was Alabama, they would have their stuff fixed.
Cookman University, his team out
Salute
in front.
to you, Dazzle.
9-7. They haven't won a SWAC game yet, but this is a big SWAC game, and they're out in front. But Jackson State driving and knocking on the door. 1st and 10. Shedeur Sanders with a fake in the backfield. And he is caught and dropped.
God, leave this offensive line.
Tony Bowman in the backfield, the big 6'3", 250-pound senior making a big stop.
Yeah, I was just about to say that defensive line needs to regain some of that tenacity they had earlier in the game, and they did.
Pillow soft blocking. Y'all see that?
Play, and Bowman was having none of that. Came right at him.
He did a big job, a great job for a big man, being able to stay on his feet and move with Sanders there to make the sack. So on 2nd down, they go to the run. Inside, that is J.D. Martin on the carry, and he's going to pick up a few inside, but not nearly enough for the 1st down. So it's going to bring up a big 3rd down coming up for Jackson State. 3rd and about 15.
Yeah, don't be surprised if the Tigers just go right in the end zone, right? They're in field goal range, right? So just go ahead and put it up in the end zone. Give yourself a shot to make something happen. Looks like they're calling timeout there.
This ain't TC Taylor's play caller, man. They will never convince me it's not.
Number 44, Jamarcus Reeves. He went down earlier in this game.
I'm going to turn the volume back on, but I got to say this is not TC Taylor's play caller at all. This is not it. In the offensive line, you got to be ashamed of yourselves for not putting up fight. This team, Bethune Cookman, is punching you in the mouth, and you ain't doing nothing. You got to fight back. JSU's getting turnovers, and it's not like they're fighting getting turnovers. They're getting turnovers and getting their butts whooped by Bethune Cookman.
He and Ontario Johnson have really led that Wildcats defense so far in this ball game. They've done a great job. So 3rd down and still about 15 yards to go for the Tigers. Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, empty backfield. Runs up the middle this time. He keeps still on his feet. Sanders is in the end zone for a touchdown. Shedeur Sanders under pressure there, stayed in the pocket, saw the opening, and then took full advantage of it. And Jackson State has moved out in front in this ball game.
I said I thought they would throw in the end zone and just go ahead and go for it, but he's giving his father a little prop there with the prime time dance in the end zone. But look at it. He sees that gap, and he's like, I can get there. Tucks it. He's running all the way. Great job.
And, of course, his nickname is Grown, as in grown man. And
that's a grown man move right there.
Right there by Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, that was all Shedeur.
Yeah,
horrible blocking and all.
On that a little bit longer to see his dance, so he can critique that as well.
So Glenn Misick is on for the extra point. It is good as he puts it up and in. And Jackson State out in front now for the first time in this ball game.
Rise above the hate, Shedeur. Rise above the hate, Shedeur. Rise above it. And I'm going to tell you what I respect about FAMU and their fans. They never diss the players. They never lied and go on a narrative, and I respect that. And look at FAMU. They got their own docu-series. It's a great show. Check it out. It's on ESPN Plus. It's only $6. Shout out to Bethune Cookman, man. Y'all got some good fans. This game is close. Bethune, what I tell y'all, they're going to play hard. They're that good. They're that good. But, yeah, that was all Shedeur right there. That was all Shedeur right there because Shedeur is playing for more than himself. He's playing for his father. His father. And he's not trying to let his father down. I want to see the offensive line pick it up.
So Bethune Cookman on the kickoff return. Jimmy Rogers spinning and finally dropped at about the 21-yard line. So that is where the Wildcats will go back on offense. And they had
shout out to
LSU
LSU.
This game, but the last couple of possessions, we saw that number one defense from Jackson State start to kind of take control of this game.
Well, you know, when that defensive line gets humming and gets their attitude rolling and they start creating all the havoc, it's hard to have an offense that can be consistent. You may have a couple of plays that you can pop on them, but to be consistent against a relentless pressure that they provide, it's tough. But let's see what Patrick can do here.
There's another penalty on the play. You saw the mark off right there. And we just, we mentioned it before, but we can't say enough about Dennis Thurman because like Coach Prime, he has NFL roots, played for the Bills and the Jets. He was a defensive coordinator there. And he's bringing a lot of that to this Jackson State defense. So we'll pick it up here. 1st and 10 after the penalty. And that's an incompleted pass. Shannon Patrick trying to hit number 87, Ellington, and it's a little too low on the play. But
yeah, what the crowd looking at?
And
they're not really showing the crowd.
One of the things that Coach Prime has done, he's got a mixture of coaches, and they have a lot of different backgrounds, but they all have a lot of football experience, and that's what's coming out on the field. So we have 5 minutes, 17 seconds to go here in the second quarter as Bethune Cookman tries to mount a drive. This is the first time they've had the ball on offense when they've been trailing in the football game, 14-9, Jackson State out in front. So this is Patrick back to pass. Under some pressure, fires it, and it's going to be a completed pass, looks like. An incomplete pass, excuse me. He was trying to hit the big tight end, Averett, and he could not make the catch.
Yeah, when in doubt, go to your biggest weapon. And that's exactly what he did.
Hey, Dat Maddox, you know whose fault is that?
Pressure for standing up in
you
there,
know whose fault is that?
When he throws, he has to kind of raise his
bad
foot
camera angles.
to get
I'll tell you, if Alabama was
Boy,
playing,
on the money, though,
they would have had that
the big
fixed.
fella just couldn't hang on to that one. John Huggins on defense.
The disrespect that they're doing for HBCUs makes me sick.
3rd down and 10 now. Just shy of 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Patrick, no time. He's under big-time pressure, and he fires it deep down the field. And we do have a flag, so
what?
There may have been some contact on the play.
Oh, boy. Don't tell me they...
Downfield, but big-time heat on Shannon Patrick in the backfield.
What? I'll tell you, Patrick's staying in there strong.
Oh, boy, these officials, man.
Looks like probably holding.
What? Y'all got to let the players play, man. I cannot stand SWAC refs, man.
Still 4th down.
I cannot stand SWAC refs.
Sure what the call was. It was against the Tigers.
Here's another look at it. You see Patrick just putting that up there.
You got to let the players play, man.
A good defensive play right
there. They picked it up. Okay. Thank you.
Al Young. And you know, when we've talked to Coach Prime in the past, when he talks about his defensive secondary, he said those guys are interchangeable.
Oh, I'm about to get in on them.
From week to week, we decide.
I'm gonna get in on them when they go on commercial break, bro.
There. We've seen
this is disgraceful.
Cameron Silman, Craig made a big play. That was Al Young on that one. A lot of these guys.
That's why we need our own networks
in this secondary. So, but
that's why we need our own networks, brothers and sisters.
So Jackson State will get another opportunity on offense with under 5 minutes to go. And Rutgers going to pick it up.
That's
inside
not
his 10, and Rutgers
get down.
Be dropped.
Oh, that was
he chased that punt down, tried to pick it up on the return.
That's a bad return. That's why they missed Warren Newman.
By Bethune Cookman to hold him to a short game. Really
Rutgers talented though. Rutgers going to be a big play receiver
when you decide not to catch
for years in the SWAC. He got pro potential.
Making sure it didn't go down to 1 or 2.
But as a return man, Newman is that guy as a return man.
Grabbing it earlier, but now
he should have let it go out of bounds.
Yeah, they have some work to do indeed. Shadur Sanders for the first half, 9 out of 13.
Oh, they call flag on the bench. All right.
Yards and a touchdown. He was sacked though 3 times, which shows you how well that Bethune Cookman defense has played to this so far in this ball game. But they're deep in their own territory now. Sanders passing out to the sideline. Has Weidman again, and Weidman almost broke another one. Big. The last time he caught a pass like that,
Weidman is a freak of nature, man. I've never seen a receiver like this in the SWAC. Like that type of skill set. 6'5", 200.
Right there at the end.
Explosive.
Able to get enough of him.
So Sanders and company again go inside to the run. That was the first down, and nothing to do him there. Once again, we've talked about that big defensive line for the Wildcats. At the bottom of that pile, Tony Bowman again. That young man's also played an outstanding first half.
Yeah, you're right. Bowman, Ontario Johnson, and Marquise Reeves are really, really playing well. for the Wildcat defense.
So they're coming up on 2nd and 10 after he picks up nothing that time. As the clock ticks down, 3:54 to go. Sanders on the fake. Fires near the sideline. Has a man. That's a first down and more.
Oh, he had it.
Corbin
Woo!
on the catch, and he high steps it up the sideline. So Corbin coming up with a big play there. A big pass from Sanders to Keith Corbin.
Yeah, this would be for the Tigers. They want this drive to be just methodical and head down. Of course, you always want big
Yeah,
plays.
that's sad, bro. That's
they got
sad.
time to drive, have a nice long drive to get a scoring drive here. That's what their goal is.
Boy, Santee Marshall, he's had some tough going here in the first half. He may have broken a couple, but they're playing some really, really good, tough run defense on that Bethune Cookman sidelines. And there's a quick story we're going to talk more about as the broadcast go. But Santee Marshall, not only was he a walk-on, when he a walk-on on this team, but he was also the video guy for the football team. He was videotaping practice. We'll talk more about that a little later when he comes back, but that's an interesting story in itself. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. We're under 3 minutes in the first half. Sanders dumps it off. That is J.D. Martin with the catch, and a good tackle over there by Caleb Sutherland for that defense for the Wildcats.
You're absolutely right. It was a great tackle right there. You get an open field tackle with a guy with that kind of skill, grabbing that ball and watch. Sure tackle goes right at the hips, spins, and takes him right down. Big 3rd down now. 2:25 left in the game in the first half.
Sanders back to pass here, 3rd and 10. Under pressure again, and they track Sanders down again. A big play that time by the Bethune Cookman Wildcats. Number 58 chasing him down. That's Jarrell Knight showing some speed in the backfield.
Yeah, he comes around that edge, and he just kept coming, and Sanders did not see him or feel him. He keeps looking downfield, and he just kept coming. Look at him.
Say, how many times he gets sacked in this game?
He grabbed him right by that arm when he wasn't expecting it.
We've seen Jackson State a couple of times. That's going to bring up 4th down. We've seen Jackson State a few times this week, and I don't know this year, and I'm not sure I've seen any team that's been able to pressure them as much as they're getting today from the Wildcats.
Agreed.
So Bailey Rayburn on to punt it away for J-State. Gets a high end-over-end kick, and it's going to be fielded on the return, and that's going to be a big return right there. A nice job.
7 sacks.
The Wildcats in good field position.
Wow.
There. Number 81 on the return. That is Justice Tuggle bringing it back for the Cats.
Yeah, you're right. That was a nifty. I don't know if nifty is the correct word for that, but that was a good return there. A couple of really good moves to really get you another 10 to 15 yards.
They said Tony Gray is out.
So they'll have to.
That's not good.
With 1 minute and 16 seconds left to go here in the first half, with Jackson State out in front, 14-9 over Bethune Cookman. And so, it's been we've seen two different momentum shifts here in the first half, because Bethune moved the ball good early in the first half, but now it's been all Jackson lately. So Bethune Cookman trying to get the offense rolling again. This time they go with the run inside, and they picked up about 5 or 6 on the carry. Number 27 on the carry, that is Ladarian Wilson.
They pick up the pace here.
So 2nd down, and we do have a whistle on the field, and that happens sometimes when you try to go quickly. It's going to be against the Wildcats, and that will back them up.
It's like left tackle.
Tony Gray is not in the game.
So Ladarian Wilson,
he's out. It's probably from an injury. That's not good news. Yeah, they need Tony Gray.
30-pound senior getting his first action.
That's a tough penalty right there. You had some momentum. You had some things going. You still have to cover some ground real quickly right before the half to try to get some points on the board. And you get an offside jump, and that puts you back behind the chains.
So Y.N. Myers, he's had a busy first half. He's still got 45 seconds to go. So we'll see exactly what the Wildcats do here. They have the ball resting on the 46-yard line. And they have possession, second down, and about 9 yards to go to keep the drive going. It's actually to try to pick up a big chunk and get another first down. So Shannon Patrick this time, he's going to throw it. Has some time in the pocket, and it's intercepted over the middle. So here come the Tigers on the return. Across the 30, to the 20, down to the 15. It's Shiloh Sanders. One man to
Let's
beat,
go,
and
Shiloh.
almost takes it all the way back for the touchdown. So a huge interception by that defense, the number one defense in the SWAC from Jackson State. Shiloh Sanders, Deion's other son, who makes a big impact in this ball game.
Electric play, absolutely fantastic read. He was watching the
Headache
quarterback
gang
guy,
in the building.
just went right in there and broke on the ball. But this is the kind of
Let's
play that
go.
Terry Sims for the Wildcats said they just can't have happen to him.
Oh,
That's
Brian
exactly
Chester,
what
I'm
it
going to
was.
talk
He
about the
just underthrew
sacks.
the ball. And again,
I
Sanders
can't wait for
comes
halftime.
right underneath, grabs that ball, and then, of course, he can do something with the ball when he gets it. Great run.
That's the danger of trying to make something happen. We mentioned 45 seconds to go in a half. You're trailing 14-9. It's a gamble. It's a roll of the dice. You try to get too much, then something like this happens. Shiloh Sanders on the return, and he almost took it to the house.
They need a
It's
score,
almost a
man.
Sanders house call, and this one, there have been two Sanders scoring. So on first down,
Yeah.
Sanders in the back of the end zone to Weidman. It's a touchdown
Malachi
for the
Weidman.
Tigers.
Let's go.
Sanders to Malachi Weidman, and it's a touchdown.
And you're right. That's the kind of sudden change that just is rough to go into half, realizing you were right there on the doorstep. You just gave up a quick 7. Instead of you trying to get probably 3, you're trying to really get a field goal opportunity or possibly score. Now you just turn it around and go the other way. It's a 10-point swing.
Yeah. Man, the chat crunk right now. The chat crunk right now.
Weidman get better and better as the season goes on.
You know what? JSU looks very dangerous when they wake up. Oh, they called a celebration.
The Tigers will be guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct after the big celebration there.
Man, these SWAC refs are terrible.
It'll be taken on the kickoff. So we'll see Glenn Mesick again coming out to try to add the extra point. And what you mentioned, that sudden change, what a quick change of the momentum in this ball game. To the snap, it's good. Hold is good, and Mesick drills it. And
shout out to the kicker, man. He's making his field goals today.
21-9 over Bethune Cookman after that interception by Shiloh Sanders. Takes it down deep into Bethune Cookman territory, and then Shedeur Sanders passed to Malachi Weidman for the touchdown.
I'll tell you, that's just and it's great execution on their part. They started off rough. Their offense just
Shiloh Sanders, Urban Network had an interception. He almost had a touchdown. He was stopped at the goal line, and they scored on the Malachi Weidman pass.
Sanders, you see, he knew where he was going, and Coach Sanders talked about the fact that his pre-reads before each play is absolutely spectacular because he does so much study. That's something to dance about too, girl. Look at that. Go ahead.
The broadcaster love them sisters.
Having a great time.
He sure do.
4-yard TD pass that last drive. Again, one of those quick drives. Man, I tell you what. Don't try to copy that lady, Jorge. Just don't do it.
I'm sorry.
That last drive. One play, 4 yards, and it's a touchdown for the Jackson State Tigers.
Yeah, go dance on the sister. Dance on the sister. They getting crunk in the stands.
Some excitement going on in the stands here.
Nothing like that black
one.
one.
That's the Tigers we came to see. I don't know what was happening earlier.
There's nothing like that black one.
So right, I think they still, while the little bit of this back end kind of got away, I think they're playing some really good football. They just can't let plays. And Coach Sims talked about that. They can't let those kind of plays happen. But now they just got to buckle down. Right?
Hey, y'all look at that.
Really, really well.
That is true.
I think their offense
that Wildcats at BCU are a second half team.
Again. But I think they can go in the half and talk about some positives and then correct those negatives and see where they go in this second half.
Bailey Rayborn kicks it low, and the Wildcats touched it, so they'll just fall on it at the 35. That is where they will take over with 13 seconds to go. Coming up at the half, we're going to take a look at the Jackson State Band. That's going to be exciting. We're going to have some news and notes from around the SWAC. We're going to take a look at some standings. We got a lot of stuff going on. Of course, we'll have the highlights and some of the stats from the first half. And, boy, you just kind of summed it up in a nutshell what this
Oh,
first
they
half
turning
has
up
been.
right now.
Bethune Cookman came out. They played really hard, but like you said, that's exactly what Coach Terry Sims told us. They'll be playing their hearts out, and then you'll get a play that seems to just switch the momentum. So Shannon Patrick back out for the final 13 seconds here in the first half. This time he turns and he hands it off straight ahead. And that's a big gain of about 9, pretty close to 10 yards by LaDarian Wilson, the transfer from Maryland, big number 27. And so there's going to be some good things that Coach Sims is going to like about the first half. And, of course, he's going to have some things to iron out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the overcoming of the bad luck on that very first drive where they went backwards, right? They could have had.
Well. JSU. Missed opportunities. Penalties. Offensive line is getting mollywopped right now. They're getting beat like it's a street fight. And they woke up. A couple of interceptions helped. Shadir making plays. Shadir is a warrior, man. Shadir Sanders is a warrior. He's getting hit. He got sacked 7 times in this game. I repeat, 7 times in this game. That's unacceptable. Shout out to the brother, Andy. He says, yeah, that O-line got to tighten up. It does. They got to fix something, man. They got to fix something because this is unacceptable. And for the broadcast networks, the worldwide leaders in sports, you got to fix your freaking your coverage on HBCUs. The bad camera angles, the graphics, the lack of respect that you have for not only SWAC schools, but all HBCU programs is unacceptable. Volume is terrible. They got to fix that, man. Yeah, right. You're right. Volume is terrible. Their information on SWAC programs is bad. This is not the product that we're all trying to look at. We're not trying to look at this garbage. Now, we love our teams, we love our SWAC programs, but we're not settling for this. I don't care if it's on BET. I don't care if it's on TV1. I don't care if it's on FSN somewhere. Can we please have HBCU games at programs that will respect the brand, respect the history of HBCUs, respect the teams? That's all I want. Because this is pathetic. We got 400 people in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. I need about 300 likes. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm sick and tired of it. And it may sound like complaining, but I don't really give a damn. But there's one bright spot I saw today that I needed to see. I saw the love of our people. It felt like a cookout in there. I saw the joy of our people. That was something to see. The announcers loved it. They loved it because it felt like a family reunion. Bethune Cookman fans, Jackson State fans, no matter what's happening in the game, our love and joy for each other was great to see. And I truly enjoyed it. That said, the WNBA had better coverage, facts. Other FCS teams had better coverage. Oh, they got Dartmouth on ESPN, regular ESPN. Wow. Talk about disrespect. Talk about disrespect. And y'all out here.
And that offense moved, and they went up 9-0. But in
All right. They're not even playing the bands. They're showing the bands. They ain't playing it. Wow. I try to turn this thing back so I can listen to the bands, and they up out here talking. Let me see if they let them play.
Big offensive stats in this ball game. It's just that their defense did a super job. You know, we expected this to be kind of a battle of the offenses coming in, but both defenses have stepped up and really, really done a good job in the first half. And if it wasn't until right at the
All right, announcers, nothing against the announcers, but can you please stop talking when the band is on? So we're going to play the band. They better play their music.
really well, but you can't allow big plays. And because it's not just we give up the big play, we give up a big play that either is a pick six or a block punt return for a touchdown. In this case, it was an interception taken to the 3 or 4 yard line where, you know, obviously it's in great shape for a touchdown, and the Tigers did convert. So that's quick points you're giving away, not just in a play, but you're giving away 7. And that is tough to recover from for any team.
And Jackson State today playing without head coach Deion Sanders. He's out. He had a foot surgery, again, his second one. And so he's out. And instead, it's Gary Harrell who's taken over. So they've had to make some adjustments on that sideline, too.
Yeah, sure. Well, we talked about the fact that the game plan wouldn't change a whole lot, but it would be the energy that Prime brings. I mean, flat out. I mean,
I want to apologize to everybody. This network is not respecting the bands. I'm here to listen to the bands. I'm not here to hear the commentary. You can speak on what you speak on when the game starts, but look at the disrespect. Like the brother said, we need our own. Even though the band is not playing, they gotta. It's about to start. All right, let me see. All right, they're about to start the band. Thank you. It's 21-9 JSU, Brother Urban.
Mothers are and always will be the backbone of the household, the pillar in the community, and the strength of the family. As the boat smoothly struts onto the field, we are reminded of Mom as she was sashaying down the roadway for 2 steps on the dance floor. Please welcome the Tiger Run. Now the boat will start to show off with the tune entitled Mama Used to Sing by Goodyears. We're going to be given some local quotes from Mom throughout the film. like to pay tribute to all women and moms that are battling a terminal illness. Thank you, celebrate you as they dance to
That is
Aflac policyholder.
Shout out to the JSU band. Marion Rouse says, "A damn marching Wildcats aren't there." Is that true? Oh yeah, you know how they do. They always cut. That's expected. They always cut them off. So JSU, when halftime is over, and I'm sure Coach Prime is giving them a great speech and letting them know that the job is not finished, that they must treat this game, in every game, you must treat every game like you're playing against a top-notch opponent. Look at Oklahoma. They almost lost to Kansas. That is what happens when you take your foot off the gas. So JSU cannot afford to be doing that in this game. JSU must keep pushing. Stick to your training. And as for Bethune Cookman, I'm going to show them love. If I'm Bethune Cookman, I'm taking all the short routes. And then if there's a deep shot, take it. But attack the middle, get the shorter routes, get you a 3-yard here, a 5-yard there, get the ball out quick. And if you see a mismatch, go ahead and attack. Those are the keys of the game. Now, for those who are listening, what do you want to see from Jackson State in the second half? And if you're a Bethune-Cookman fan, what do you want to see from Bethune? Phil Ross says, keep the classic. Just schedule 4 good FCS games for non-conference. That's a good idea. Dwayne Haley said we need to talk to Oprah about the JSU being a jewel in the Nile River of revenue. Hey, anybody that can put up a good production. But they must understand one thing. They got to understand our culture. They got to understand how it operates. Because like Coach Prime always stated, all money ain't good money. And I felt bad for UAPB. Had to play a money game against Arkansas. And what that can do is crush your confidence. Let me see. RJ said better protection from offensive line. Open up running lanes, facts. Roderick Williams says stay balanced, protect your deer, keep the defense fresh, create turnovers, win the game. Simple, effective, and accurate. Ant Smith says Oprah is from Mississippi and she don't care. A lot of these celebs, man, once they get that money from the elites, they don't come back home, unfortunately. It's sad, but it's true. And we got to get back to the ethics. I agree with you. BET needs to show the games again. I'll watch it. This is coming from a brother that hasn't watched BET in a long time. I haven't watched BET since Bob Johnson owned that company, the brother who sold it to Viacom. That's been that long since I watched BET. Lauren Henry says Deion is gonna have to play North Dakota State, Jacksonville State, and North Carolina A&T to be taken seriously. Other than that, I don't see them getting in the FCS. They're in contract. Really, the FCS playoffs, you got to be in the top 16, I believe, top 16 to get to the FCS playoffs. And if Jackson State keeps winning, they'll be eligible. The problem is they're in contract with the Celebration Bowl. I wish there was a way to make it all work, to have the Celebration Bowl and then playoffs. But the power structure, you know how it is. It's the NCAA. They play it by their rules. Said I'm in South Dakota State. Yeah, North Dakota State, they're a good team. They run a pro-style offense. Beast Mode said, DJ, you might hate me for this, but I really hope JSU wins the SWAC and declines the Celebration Bowl and decide to go into the FCS playoffs. No, I wouldn't hate you for that. That's your opinion. The only problem is they're in contract. And I guess if JSU keeps winning, you will probably see Coach Prime address it and talk about it. Yeah, they could do it. They do show the reruns. And he says if people only cheer for the bands and not the game, it's crazy. We got to cheer for it all, man. We got to cheer for anything that represents our culture. That's what I'm about. And the bands, everything. The football game, the pageantry. It's still on commercial break. See what these guys talking about.
Veterans Memorial Stadium. We are at the half. Time now to check out some news and notes from around the SWAC. First of all, how about the Tigers from Jackson State moving up in the poll? Jackson State climbs to number 20 in the FCS coaches poll. Tigers jump up 5 spots this week. And then what about running to national honors? Kobe Dillon named the Stats FCS National Freshman Player of the Week. Dillon rushed for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns in a big win over Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then SWAC honors, well, you got Kobe Dillon from Southern, Chase Foster from Southern, Luke Jackson also from Southern, Keith Corbin, the third from Jackson State, all named SWAC Football Players of the Week for week number 6. Let's check out the standings as they appear today. Coming in, you see Jackson State with a perfect 3-0 in the East, and then in the West.
Illinois about to upset Penn State.
We have Jackson State today. We got Prairie View coming up later tonight.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, the big dogs are out there, right? I mean, you got 3-0, 4-0, and Alcorn State. Don't forget them. They're 3-0 in conference as well. And I think this is the part of the season where things start to shake out, and teams have to have that consistency to be able to keep up in those standings and try to win that.
Yeah, but how about some parity here, Mr. Vargas? When you look at it, look at Florida A&M right there on Jackson State's heels on the other side. You mentioned Alcorn State. I think that's one of the beautiful things about this football season. A lot.
Hey, yo, I'm going to need Prairie View A&M to go on a win streak because I want to see Jackson State play against Prairie View, selfishly, because they're not on their schedule. But if Southern wins the Western Division, I wouldn't be surprised. They're clicking right now. But Prairie View got a quarterback, and pass is the real deal.
As you can see, there are some big games coming up starting with Arkansas Pine Bluff at Texas Southern. That's on October 30th. And those are two teams, the Texas Southern Tigers, playing a lot better football these days.
They're starting to get it together, right? I mean, and you want to see where they go from there, right? Can they put it together and be consistent, or was it a drop in the well, right? So can they keep it going?
Then we have Alabama State taking on Alabama A&M. Of course, that in-state rivalry in that one's always going to be a good one.
Whenever you face people it always gets a little uglier, and Alabama A&M certainly wants to get their thing rolling again.
Also on the 30th, October 30th, we have Grambling going down to Florida A&M. Coach Broderick Fobbs, he actually has.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
These days.
That's going to be a good one. Grambling versus Alabama A&M next week. That's going to be the game of the week in the SWAC. That's going to be the game of the week. Alabama, Florida, Grambling State versus FAMU. They're playing at FAMU, which is a good thing because when you play at Grambling, it's tough. It is very tough when you play at Grambling. So the great thing about FAMU next week is that they're going to be home. What's the attendance numbers? Anybody got the attendance numbers of the Bethune Cookman Jackson State game? So on commercial break. Man, I enjoyed the conversation today. I love in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Funches. And he says double overtime Illinois versus Penn State is going down right now. It's your boy OZ said, you play in the hole, the refs are going to cheat. Oh, man. But shout out to Graham. Shout out to the Graham fam. No matter if Grambling State's your rival or not, when Grambling's good, it's great for the SWAC. It really is. They have to be good. Teams like Grambling State, Jackson State, FAMU, and even you can put the Bethune Cookman. Those are the four schools that have to be great in the SWAC. Think the game's about to come on.
And as you can see, Jackson State will receive the second half kickoff, and they went to the break with a lot of momentum from that first half.
Yeah, can they maintain it, and how will they come out, right? I mean, we see in these games swings happen, just one half to another, one quarter to another. We'll see what goes on.
Kick goes deep, and the Tigers will bring it back. And he breaks the tackle.
Oh, man.
Out into the open field, down the sidelines. And Jackson State brings the kickoff all the way back. It's number 23, Isaiah Bolden. And what a return for the transfer from Florida State. He leads the SWAC with over 30 yards of return. And we saw a quick example of why he's so explosive and why he does lead the SWAC in kickoff.
Hey, JSC, y'all coming out like that?
Momentum. There's nothing bigger than a kickoff return. And again, look at the steps he does and creates blocks. A lot of people don't realize.
You're welcome, my brother, man. Thank you for tuning in.
When you set up a blocker with those little steps and leans, defenders start to lean a certain way, and you allow your blocker to be able to get an angle on him, and that creates it. Just an absolutely great job, and it's a tough backbreaker for the Wildcats.
Isaiah Bolden brings it back 94 yards for the touchdown on the opening kickoff of the second half, as Jackson State just extended its lead to 28-9.
That is tough. And again, football games are about answering. How do you answer?
You know that Isaiah Bolden is the fastest on the team. No cap. He's the fastest on the team. I think he runs a 4.3.
From the first half, and take a look at it as the second half.
Oh, shit. Let me turn that back on.
By Cricket right there, and as you can see, I always ask you this, but you look at that. I mean, that's pretty good, and you can see it's actually pretty close from the first half.
Yeah, and again, it was really just two different quarters, right? First quarter, besides the first drive of the game, Bethune Cookman, the Wildcats looked pretty solid, created some opportunities. Nothing huge, but they were able to move the ball and look pretty confident. second quarter, the defensive line for Jackson State, the Tigers just started dominating and do what they do best, which is come at you from a million different ways, and that stalled them, and that ignited their offense, because it seemed like their offense got ignited when they saw the defense get rolling.
And the total yards, Jackson State picked up most of that late in the second quarter. Halfway through the second quarter, that's when they started to accumulate the yardage on offense. So once again, Bailey Rayborn kicks it off, and it's going to be down in the end zone. So the Wildcats will start 1st and 10 from the 25. That was Quayshawn Bird taking a knee in the end zone. And so that's not what they expected to happen to start the second half.
Oh, man, JSU's in their head now.
Defense and have their defense turned into big.
Boy, look at those jerseys, man.
It's going to have to be the offense for the Wildcats to get things rolling here in the second half.
And again, I mean, you can just see the Tigers have come out. Even when we were watching the kickoff getting ready to happen, you can see a lot of head bobbing, dancing, and kind of energy that that they lacked in the beginning of the game. They seem to have it right now. And with that kickoff return, watch this defense come flying. How will the Wildcats handle it?
So Devin Black back in at quarterback for Bethune Cookman. He actually started the game. This time he hands off to Quayshawn Bird, and he pushes his way near the 30-yard line.
Remember,
So nice
BCU is a second half team. So, JSU got to keep going.
Their big thing right now is to settle this game back down. Settle it down. Just worry about drive, play after play.
So second down, he got 4 yards on that carry. Second down and about 6 for the Wildcats. And they go back to Quayshawn Bird, and he's going to be close to a first down as he bangs forward. And Quayshawn Bird trying to get the running attack going as you watch.
Kick return touchdown, Isaiah Bolden.
He's the interim coach for today. Coach Prime, we mentioned, is not here. He had another foot surgery this week. He's recovering. We wish him the best with that recovery, and hopefully he'll be back with his team next week. But Jackson State now not really missing a beat on the field.
Yeah,
that was a first down, by the way. Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised that Black's back in.
So Devin Black had a couple of possessions in the first half. Back at quarterback, fakes it to Bird. Under pressure, Black spins away from one, throws the ball up.
Oh,
I don't know if you call that a forward pass and it's incomplete or it's a fumble. It looked like he just flipped the football forward, but it was loose, and it created a mad scramble for the ball. One of the offensive linemen got it.
Yeah, I think it was a fumble. I mean, flat-out fumble. I think the ball just got jarred. Yeah, he was trying to carry it. He didn't have it tucked away right. Looks like 67, big number 67, recovered the ball for him.
67. Aurelius Dunn was really alertly getting on that one, or that would have been a disaster for the Wildcats. Second down, after it all is said and done, they only lost about 2 yards on that play. So not too bad. Second down, 12 coming for the Wildcats and Devin Black.
Yeah, they'll take that loss instead of the turnover.
Black turns, gives it inside. That's Bird with some room inside and a big tackle by the Tigers. Coming away with that one is number 6. That is John Huggins. He was pretty active in the first half.
That's a big hit right there. I mean, watch, you got a running back running full steam, and you could tell he's running behind his pads, running strong, and then just watch this stop. Boom. You just pick him up off the ground and just drill him. Great tackle.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, and they go back to Bird, and this time he's hogtied and dropped. Someone had him around the neck, but they let go, and then Huggins came on to finish it off.
Yeah, team tackling, there's nothing better than team tackling. When you've got multiple guys causing havoc, that just makes it makes your defense solid, and that's exactly how the Tigers play. But the Wildcats have something going on here. I mean, I think the running game seems to be getting a little bit better. Bird's making some things happen. Now I'll see if the play action will work and open something up.
Well, they came back, and obviously one of the goals for what Terry Sims told the team at halftime was, let's try to establish some type of running game, and we see that starting to materialize here in the second half. This time, though, Black going up top, and boy, there was a defensive back breaking on that football, and that was a dangerous pass. It looked like it was C.J. Holmes who had that one measured out, and he broke on that football, but the pass was wide, and instead it's an incomplete pass. He was trying to hit Darryl Powell, number 7, with the play.
Yeah, that ball, that's a long way to travel, how that ball goes out there. And it is tough. It is tough to watch that ball go out there and worry about the defensive backs breaking on that ball and turning it the other way for 6.
You know, when we talked to Coach Gary Harrell this week, he said when his defense starts to get rolling, he kind of feels sorry for the opposing quarterback because there's so much heat on him. Well, but he also said they smell blood in the water, and that's what it looked like on that play. Pressure again on 3rd and 10, and the pass is incomplete because of pressure. But we do have a flag down, and Bethune Cookman, big Kamari Averett thought it was against the Jackson State Tigers, and it appears it will be.
I think it was holding, and really it's because this ball, watch it, it floats so much. Averett makes an adjustment, tries to come back, and he's held right there. Can't get back to the ball. He's got to get the opportunity to come back to the ball, and he wasn't. Didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, that was 3rd and long. It was a 3rd and 10, and credit Devin Black for getting the ball up. Now Jackson State's going to have to hurry because Bethune Cookman is at the line of scrimmage, but they recovered. But it was a 3rd and 10. He was under so much pressure. He just unloaded the football, and a lot of times that happens. He was hit, the ball is short, and they get an interference call. So a good holding call on the play. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Black keeps. Nice move on the outside. Still has the football, and he picks up 9 on the play. So Devin Black running the zone read keeps, and that's the right decision on that play.
Yeah, well,
No, I agree. That was pass interference. I'm just disappointed in the coverage.
He's got the ball. I did too. You had him.
He should have turned his head around.
Great move there. Shake and bake, and then tucks it in, gets there.
Big play. So 2nd down and about close to 2 yards on the play, so maybe he picked up 8. This time it's Quayshawn Bird, and he's carrying 1 defender, and Bird will be very close to that 1st down. It appeared he got right on the line to get.
ECU's a second-half team. We've been saying that in the chat.
Figuring into this attack here in the 2nd half, and he's a young man that, you know, we mentioned last week he got 176 yards. He rushed for, he has 4 touchdowns on the year, but Coach Terry Sims loves him. I mean, he says pound for pound, he's the best running back that he's ever coached.
Oh, that says a lot too. But you could see he doesn't stop, right? I mean, it's easy to say because of course he doesn't stop. No, he is churning, trying to get every inch till he's down, till that whistle blows.
So they spotted him a little short. They spotted his knee down. So it's going to bring up 3rd and about a yard. Black puts it up for the end zone, and his pass is broken up. But we do have a flag down near the goal line. It looked like it was Al Young on the coverage there for the Tigers. He was trying to hit number 7, Darryl Powell. There was some contact as he went to the football.
Yeah, I think what happened was the defender put his arm up on his pads and kind of held him down for a minute when he jumped up. We'll see.
Referee Wyatt Myers on the call as we take another look.
He just heaves it up there and lets his receiver get it. Can't really see what happened before that, but it looked like that left arm was on the shoulder pads, not allowing the receiver to kind of jump up as well.
And it was Al Young on the coverage, the guilty party from the transfer from Southeast Mississippi. And he's one of their outstanding defensive backs. They have a few of those.
And you talked earlier about Coach Prime talking about the defensive backs. And every week you have to earn your starting spot. There is no, you're my starter, that's it. You earn it. Whoever practices the best, that's who starts this week. And he feels confident in 6 or 7 defensive backs, all just going in there at cornerback.
And as you can see, the Wildcats move early on their line, so that will cost them 5. It'll come back 5
penalties
yards. Two
everywhere.
defensive penalties on this drive gave the Wildcats 1st down, so they're knocking at the door, and that's a huge penalty right there.
Yeah, you've got to focus. We talked about it at the top of the game, and then you have to focus. Keep your focus. Mental mistakes will kill a team.
Offset. Replay down.
Well, offsetting penalties there. There was one on defense and one on offense. Couldn't really understand what happened on defense, but they offset, so they'll just replay the down.
So no harm, no foul on the play. And I just got word from Ruben, the SID with Bethune Cookman. Thank you very much, Ruben. But Jamarcus Reeves, who's had such an outstanding first half, he said, just be aware his jersey is tearing. So as soon as it's gone, he's going to switch him to number 94. So thank you very much, Ruben. We appreciate that. So, but he's been all over the field, so I'm surprised it hadn't just been torn off his back. As you see Terry Sims over there trying to get an explanation about exactly what happened on that last call.
That's one of those things you just show them your jersey. You think there's not holding?
Yeah.
Take a look at I'm having to change jerseys for my defensive lineman.
So now he's going to come back with the false start on the offense. So they will back up Bethune Cookman 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, big number 77, right tackle right there. He got the early jump there.
So all that done, it's 1st and 15 to go for the Wildcats. This time he fakes to Robinson. Black rolls out
he's
to his
running.
left. Now he's going to keep it. Picks up a blocker downfield. Black still on his feet inside the 5 before he's popped out of bounds. But what a heady play by Devin Black, moving the football upfield and doing a good job picking up the yardage.
And he's got to give credit to the receivers blocking downfield. Once he tucked, right here, his receiver realized, look at him, turn around, number 7, shields the block, gave him another 6-7 yards on the play. Great job.
Well, that was a big hit near the sideline there. And there's Jimmy Robinson on the carry this time. Robinson's spinning, and he's finally going to be down at around the 3-yard line.
What a big drive by the Wildcats here. We talked about how would they answer. Just a tremendous drive, capitalized on a couple of penalties, but they forced those penalties. So it wasn't just gimmies. I feel like they were forcing the issue and got them. Can they capitalize here with 7?
Jimmy Robinson, only 5'7", 170 pounds, but you know what? He has a lot of touchdowns. When they get near the goal line, he usually gets it done, but he won't get a chance there because we have a whistle blowing it dead, and it appears like it's another illegal procedure penalty.
Yeah, Urban, this game is not over until it's over. VCU will play hard.
Exactly.
Again, they're a second-half team.
Has been killing his teams. He said, we'll get something going, and then we'll start getting penalties. We'll get something going, and it's a turnover that leads to a big play. And it's something he's well aware of, and it's something they're trying to work through.
That's where, as a team, collectively, you need the team leadership, the players have to step up and hold each other accountable. Coach can only do so much in that.
Second down, the big tight end, Averett, goes to the right side. The handoff inside, and they pull the helmet off. I think it's Jimmy Robinson again. Yes, Jimmy Robinson on the carry. And you could see his legs churning. He's not a very big guy, as I said before, but boy, is he strong.
He showed it right there. Boom. Watch his legs just keep churning. Takes 2 of them.
They're going to look for Everett on
the
this
helmet
play.
Off and everything. With Aubrey Miller Jr. there staying with his legs churning as well. Look at him. He got underneath him, crossed the bows, and you get that head on the other side and just kept driving.
They're going to look for the tight end.
Yeah, Aubrey Miller, the transfer from Missouri, with a big stop there. So now we're looking at a crucial 3rd and goal for Bethune Cookman here. The Wildcats would love to stick it in here.
Urban, they missed that call right there.
So the Quayshawn Bird takes the handoff, but he's hit in the backfield. First defender to get there was James Houston. Big number 41 for Jackson State.
We talked about him at the beginning of this game. He is a player that, look at him come off the edge, dip that shoulder. They talk about defensive ends, and you know this firsthand about that flexibility and you're able to lean. He was coming in off the lean, showing some flexibility and explosion all in the same time right there.
So now it's going to be a 22-yard field goal attempt coming up by Bethune Cookman. And it's number 32, Marcos Gamboa, on to attempt it. And the kick from Gamboa is good. So tack on 3 more for the Wildcats, as they had a very productive drive, aided by 2 defensive penalties, but they put 3 points on the board. And Jackson State out in front, 28.
Yeah, I have to agree. They missed the call right there, the SWAC refs. Usually when a player takes someone's helmet off, that's a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It's usually called every time. When someone's forcing the helmet out, they missed the call there. These SWAC refs are terrible. They're terrible. No matter if it's for JSU, no matter if it's for the opposing team, this can't be the best bunch. It has to be something better than this. Has to be something better than this. Because this is ridiculous. Now, for JSU, we all know that they commit a bunch of penalties. They get too excited. They get a little antsy. And that's what caused a bunch of offsides, false starts, and plays that shouldn't happen. See, what the coaches are trying to tell the players, look, you're going to move the ball. You're going to get a stop. Be where you're supposed to be. Be where you're supposed to be. We know the SWAC refs are not good, but players got to be in restraint. You got to be disciplined. You know what's going to happen. I agree, Malik Woody. JSU does need a score in the next drive. Do not make this game closer than what it is. Urban said, I got one TV on this game and one on a FAMU game. Hey, who went in that game? Let me check the...
And 14 seconds, their longest sustained drive of the game. And it ended with a Marcos Gamboa 23-yard field goal that cut the score down to 28-12 with Jackson State out in front.
And that'll get the Tigers dancing in the stands, right? That's what.
Yeah, Coach Terry Sims knew this was going to be a tough challenge to come down here, have to play Jackson State, who, by the way, is the 20th ranked team in the FCS coaches poll, which is nothing to ignore at all. I mean, they've earned it with that defense and with the balance on offense. So he knew he was going to have a tough challenge, and he thought his team would have to play an almost perfect game to get a chance to pull off the big upset.
I think what he was referring to a lot was we just can't keep beating ourselves, right? I mean, that at the end of the day, that's what it is. You can't hurt yourself, right? You're giving the other team opportunities, and you can't do that. And again, we've seen a little bit of that today that turned this game in a hurry. But we've also seen some really good Wildcat offense and defense at time. And again, their defense, I think, has played really well.
So Shedeur Sanders turns around and he hands it to J.D. Martin, who will pick up a few yards inside. For the first half, Shedeur Sanders, this is his first action in the second half because we had the opening kickoff of the half, return for a touchdown. Sanders 13 of 17 for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. The big number on this line is he was sacked 4 times in the first half. But he got the job done. So second down now for the Tigers. Sanders fires to a man wide open. That is Malachi Weidman, who makes the catch, steps out of bounds after he picks up the first down.
Malachi Weidman's having himself a day. He's almost probably right at 100 yards, 7 catches just underneath there. He was averaging before that catch 14.5 yards a catch. So he's getting it done.
And once again, you see that big offensive line providing some good protection for Shedeur Sanders.
And Weidman's just so dangerous when he gets the ball. I mean, we've seen him several times grab a smaller play and just explode it into something big.
Weidman is a transfer from Tennessee. And I mentioned earlier, he's a big receiver, 6'5", about 195. And this is J.D. Martin again. And, boy, do you see the reaction from that Wildcats front, number 92, Judas McKenzie Jr., one of the guys there. He's a big guy. Like
Stop
6'2", 290
I'm
pounds,
tired of these run plays. Air it out.
For the big stop there on J.D. Martin.
Yeah,
this can't be TC's play call.
That's what you want your D-line to be, just kind of fire plugs. They just sit down there and they don't move, right? A lot of linebackers to move and to create plays.
So Shedeur Sanders back to pass, and that is sack number 5 as he's going to be taken down right there by number 34. That is Cameron Bell, the cornerback who came in on a blitz and did a fine job recording another sack.
What Bell did a great job of is he looked like he was in coverage the whole time, so Sanders didn't notice him. at all. And right at the very end before the snap is when he came off that edge. No one picked him up, and he got there. You know, a lot of times Sanders, he does such great pre-reads. He can tell, and he can see things coming right there. It was disguised so well, he didn't see it.
Wildcats, the score is not indicative of the job they've done defensively. 3rd and 24 for Sanders. Over the middle, that's a catch and a first down for the Tigers. That is Corbin. Once again, he's had a big game. Keith Corbin III making another catch there, and you can move the stick for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's his 6th catch. And again, I think that puts him right at 100 as well. Again, you got Weidman with 107, 7 catches, and I think he's got 7 catches for 107. So two receivers over 100 yards receiving.
That was 3rd and 24, and a big pass there for the first down from Shedeur Sanders to Keith Corbin. And that moves the sticks for Jackson State. And so a little confusion right there as they're going to talk about it and come to the sideline.
Timeout.
Y'all don't think it's crazy, but that timeout was the best thing to happen for Jackson State. It was the best thing to happen for Jackson State. You never know. They probably would have had another penalty or a busted pass block play where a defensive player is roaming free to tackle Shedeur Sanders. So I'm so glad that JSU called that timeout. JSU can't even run the fast-paced offense as they want to do because the offensive line doesn't want to man up and block somebody. You saw that? Yep. Shedeur Sanders got on his offensive line, as he should. As he should. Because they're going to get him beat up in this game if they don't block somebody. I don't blame Shedeur, man. I don't blame Shedeur. He's trying to make a play. Everywhere he looks, he's getting hit. And I expect Coach Prime at the transfer portal and recruiting, he's going to recruit some more offensive line. He's going to recruit some offensive line. This was his first batch, but the next batch that's coming in, I think they're going to be some ballers. For those who don't know, Tony Gray is not in this game. I think he's injured. The O-line has had some injuries, but they got to play better than that. They got to play better than that. And I hate to speak like this because these are great kids. I'm sure they're trying. But you got to play smart too. Oh, yeah, Weidman is a future star. Keith Corbin, I call him Mr. Reliable. He probably got the best hands on the team, most likely. And just wait. When Kadarius Davis play next year, he's something else. He reminds me of Dez Bryant. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is a leader. Shedeur Sanders is a leader, man. I respect the young brother for that. He's trying to win, man.
Welcome back, everyone. That last completion from Shedeur Sanders to Keith Corbin was actually good for 21 yards. So
What?
they're a little shot. It's about 2.5, 3 yards shy of the first down. So it's a 4th down, and that is why Jackson State took that timeout, because they're trying to decide exactly what they're going to do on 4th and 3.
Go for it.
Sanders back on the field, so you see the Tigers are going to go for it. They're trying to keep the drive alive and move the sticks. A lot of movement up front from the Wildcats, and here comes the flags, and they may have jumped.
What?
I think they got Jamarcus Reeves stepping into that neutral zone.
Defense. Number 44.
No, they called a timeout.
Results.
Back in the day, you could break dance, you could do whatever you wanted on the defensive side of the ball. As long as you got back before the snap, it was all good. Nowadays, you infringe, you can't do that.
That's a big one, because that gives them the first down via penalty there.
Yep.
And so they didn't even have to run a play. It was 4th down, so that was a huge mistake. First down now for Jackson State. Shedeur Sanders and the Tigers on the move. This time he's going back to pass. Here comes the pressure
Ooh,
again.
thank
Sanders
God he
rolls
could
to his
escape from
left.
that.
He escapes the pressure. Flag goes down. Sanders still on his feet. Dives down, and he's down around the 9, but there was a flag thrown way back up near the 30-yard line, around the 25. And we'll see what the penalty flag is here. And all
Another
the
flag.
Wildcats are pointing toward Jackson State.
I think it's going to be a holding. Whenever you have a quarterback that kind of goes a direction the lineman is not expecting them to go, the defender's on him at one point, and then they take off in other directions. Their instinct is to grab them, right? And that instinct causes those holds. That's a tough one on an offensive line.
Wow,
They're trying to
JSU
make
can't
sure
even run their
quarterback's
offense
taken
because the
care of.
offensive
So
line
the
is
Tigers
holding.
were guilty of holding on the play. They'll back him up. You were talking about the L on Shedeur Sanders' jersey, on the front of his jersey.
Right. Coach Prime talked about that. He said an L is earned, right? And L, he doesn't like captain because they're not in the Army or military. He said he respects them out of that. But a leader is a leader. And so he likes L's. And again, just so you know, that L's earned every week. If you don't do what you need to do, the L is gone. He's already taken that from certain players. And so the L is an earned L as leader for this team.
That is big time motivation. So now we're back to a 1st and 20. The give is to Santee Marshall.
Why are you
He's trying
calling
to
a
get
run
going
play?
in the backfield, and
It's
just
1st
nothing
and
happening
20.
on that play. Just a great reaction.
This can't
by
be
the
TC's
defense
play
from
calling.
Bethune
It
Cookman.
can't
And
be.
you see Marshall leaving again. We never had time to get to that story as we take a look at it again, but he was a walk-on. Actually, was
They've
the
been
video
shutting down
guy.
a run every
And
game.
one day, just walked up to coach at practice and
This
said, I
is
want to try out for the
predictable
team.
play
I'm
calling.
not sure if coach took him seriously, but they let him try out. He
Oh
goes
my
out there.
God.
The rest is history. He's on the team. They put him on full scholarship. And here
Now
he
you
is
wasted
actually
it down.
starting a football game.
That is a great story. And again, maybe you watch so much film, you really saw a lot of nuances.
They shutting
a lot
down
of times
Marshall
guys
the
get
whole
injured and they
game.
spend
Why you
that year
keep putting them in?
looking,
And why you
and they
running?
learn a lot because they watch the
When they're shutting
nuances
down the
instead of
run
being in the
game.
trenches.
2nd and 22. Shedeur Sanders going way downfield, and it's overthrown. Good double coverage there by the Wildcats.
Back to the L story real quick. I want to say Coach Prime said something like that L is not Lifetime Achievement Award. He said something to that effect. Basically, like, you get that L, it doesn't mean you have it forever. You got to earn it every time.
And, you know, that's a good point. So, because he also specified that, hey, look,
Oh my
it means
God,
you
man.
have to be on time for practice. You have to be on time when we're traveling.
Oh yeah, the
Those are
O-line
things
revamp
you
is
need
coming
to
in the
do. He made that
offseason.
very clear.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
it's
said
definitely coming.
These guys have 5 uniforms. They have a lot of amenities that he's brought to the table. And he says they got to earn them.
3rd and 22. Sanders fires deep again, has a man wide open, and a diving catch in the end
Touchdown.
zone.
Weidman
Guess who?
again.
It's Malachi Weidman again, and this guy is having a sensational game. What a throw and what a diving catch by Malachi
Good luck defending them in the
You're
swag.
absolutely right. Both ends handled that really well. Sanders first looking to him. Well, actually, he just stayed on him right there. I thought he looked off, but it looks like he knew exactly where he was going. Again, great pre-read, and then puts it out where only he can get it, diving for the great catch.
Weidman has that separation speed. I mean, he can get that distance that's so important for wide receiver.
Right, can you separate? In the
Wow,
NFL,
I
that's
can't
what makes the
believe
big
how
difference, right?
fast
You
he
got
is for
receivers
his
that run
size,
wide
man.
open in college.
All right, I'm not trying to call him Randy Moss, but if you watch Randy Moss redshirt freshman year at Marshall, he's got that ability like he does. He is fast for his size, and he's strong, and he could catch. The one bright spot in this game is the kicking game. So far, they've made all their field goals. Weidman and Rucker. Yeah, the SWAC gonna be dealing with them for years to come. And on top of that, Quay Davis, they saying he playing like a baby Dez Bryant. Yeah, you talking about Quay Davis, and he said when Weidman Rucker is taking off, it's a plus. The red shirt buddy, with the off-season issues, he's going to be adding to that too. He's going to be a beast. Quay Davis is a beast, and don't forget Oliver Brown. He's very fast. Wow. You give Shedeur just a couple seconds, and he almost got sacked. Shedeur had to launch that mug up. Here's another player that's going to make some noise at tight end. Riley Jency. Jency Riley, 6'5", almost 220. He runs a 4.5, I believe, has a basketball background, super athletic. Super athletic. He's going to be a beast next year, too. So they're going to have weapons everywhere. No protection on the offensive line. Your quarterback's getting hit, and Shadur still makes plays. Put some respect in his name. Put some respect in his game. His last name is Sanders. Let them know where you're coming from. Rise above the hate, young man. Keep balling. And yes, Connell Maynard, Jackson State will be recruiting some more 4-stars. Since you want them to recruit 4-stars. Shout out to Coach Maynard. I actually don't even have a problem with Coach Maynard. Because if I was a high school kid and I was playing for an offensive coach, I would love to play for that type of offense. It's your boy OZ says Weidman played like a 4-star. That when you talk about a 4-star in college, in FCS, a 4-star in FCS, that's what it looks like. Weidman, domination
to up the lead.
That's what it's supposed to look like right there.
Jackson State out in front with 2:59 to go here in
the I agree. They do need an air raid
and
the
so
whole
when
game.
you're young, you're playing
Don't run
in
the
yard,
ball. That's
you're
what they
trying
want
to do all
you to
those
do.
either catch from inside the thing or diving catches. That was one of those.
So the kick is out of bounds. Let's take another look at the touchdown now if we can, because it was a beautiful strike after the kick went out of bounds there. Sanders is just so comfortable in that pocket.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, he just eyed the situation and just – I like the way he aired. He gave him room. But watch the leap right here. You can see it at the edge. He just dives out and just grabs it. Like I said, it's one of those ones you're playing in the yard just trying to replicate and get it. He got it in the game. Great touchdown. And, again, he's got 146 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns.
Well, he's a force, and he's showing that today. And I mentioned before he's a transfer from Tennessee, and basically Coach Prime spotted him in practice and saw what he was doing, and he said, "Hey, look,
it's impressive, man.
Like
it's impressive what Shadur is doing.
What you do in practice, which will determine where you
no problem, my brother. Peace and love to the family.
He was doing such a great job in practice. He
Peace
wanted
and
to
love
get
to
into the
everybody.
ball game, and I tell you what, he hasn't looked back since. So here comes Devin Black again in the offense for the Wildcats, and he goes to Ladarian Wilson. And, boy, that defense for the Tigers responded quickly. Keontae Hampton, one of the guys there. You know, Keontae came into this game with 38 tackles, but out of those 38, 24 was solo tackles.
Yeah, and again, that's about how much he penetrates, right? I mean, he gets through. Because, again, when you solo tackle on this team, that's tough because they gang tackle so much. There's more guys. There's tons of guys around the football all the time.
So second down, there's no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats and Devin Black, who actually started the game at quarterback. We've seen Shannon Patrick also. Black steps up. He's going to run with it, and he's upended right there with a nice tackle by Keontae Hampton again. Number 40 has been extremely active in this ball game today.
Another solo tackle, right? But again, that was caused by penetration. Look at all the relentless effort to get to the quarterback. Now, I thought Devin Black did a great job of getting out there, but he didn't want any part of Hampton out there, that's for sure.
You know what I noticed about their defensive front, and one of the best things they do? They all stay in their lanes.
Yeah.
They all maintain their lanes. And so if a quarterback has to pull it down, he's going to have to go up the middle, and that's where you have your friends. So Black fires near the sidelines. It's a low pass, but it is caught for a short gain. So it's not going to be nearly enough for a first down. Number 14, Cameron Overton, made the catch right there. And so it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Actually, that's going to be a first down. He has enough for a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Black looking to throw again. Goes down the sidelines. He may have stepped out of bounds, the receiver on that play. There was a little contact. The ball was uncatchable anyway, but it appeared the receiver may have stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one of those things. If you go out on your own accord as a receiver, you're not allowed to come back and touch that ball. So or you certainly, if he was forced out, you got to come back in and establish yourself.
Well, that's what's so great about the way the game is played today. If you're a wide receiver, you cannot be soft. You cannot be all finesse. You have to be tough because you have to fight away from that contact. So we're looking at 2nd and 10 for Bethune Cookman, and they go to the big back, Ladarian Wilson, and he has a short gain inside as he approaches midfield.
Bethune Cookman, they got hard, man.
They're gonna have at least
They
skip
play
one more
hard.
play
It's
out
just a
before
couple
this third
bad
quarter
plays
ends.
going their way.
I did mention before that today
But
is
Bethune does
the
play
kickout
hard.
day at,
I wish they would have had a
Jackson
better
State,
record.
Veterans Memorial Stadium today, and so that's why you see so many people decked out in pink. You see the players with the pink socks and the pink gloves, and so everybody's going through with the big pink out day. Big third down coming up now. 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. Little movement, but no flag, and here comes the pressure. Black gets away from it, but he can't get away from everybody. He was forced up in, and the sack was made once he's forced inside. It looks like number 12 was blitzing again. Cameron Silman Craig, the young man from Birmingham, made the stop.
Yeah, I thought that was Ontario Johnson there. No, that's on the other side, sorry. Yeah, I got my numbers messed up. Look at me.
So that we can't say enough about this defense, because you go down there and you look at it. They're number 1 in scoring defense. This 4th down and 11 is what's set up here as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter.
Put your 4s up.
We'll talk about a quick
Put
quarter.
your 4s up. Wow. Shadir Sanders, man. How can anyone hate on this brother? How can anyone, the leadership, y'all see that? Right in the player's face. Give me a quarterback like that. You know how many quarterbacks are afraid to check the players because they're too friendly and don't want them to make them mad? No, you got to let them know that I'm going to need you on these plays. You cannot mess up. But look at the most glaring thing with this team. The young guys are stepping up. The freshmen, Cameron Silman, Malachi Wyman, Trevonte Rucker, Shadir Sanders. The freshmen had put their imprint in this game. And also, number 5, Keldrick Williams. I know he gave up that 1 touchdown, but he has made some plays, made some stops. He's going to be good. He's just a freshman. That's only a redshirt freshman. So a bunch of freshmen on this team helped Jackson State get a lead. But Jackson State cannot let up. Because in this 4th quarter, Bethune Cookman is going to give it their all. Beast Mode says Cameron Silman is going to be a problem in the future, one of the most solid freshmen in the FCS. Consistent. That's what he is. That's why I'm a big fan of his game. That's the reason why I'm a big fan of his game. He's always consistent. He's never going away from the plays. I think out of all the defensive players, he gets flagged the less. Cameron Silman gets flagged the less out of all defensive players on Jackson State. Look at the film. He doesn't get flagged that much. And if he does get flagged, it's not by a dumb play. Sometimes a ref is being too soft on the calls. Yeah, these freshmen are balling, man. Recruiting matters. Recruiting matters. So shout out to the freshman. There's also another freshman that's going to take a big leap next year. He's contributing on a couple of plays. Herman Smith, number 19. I think Herman Smith is going to be really good. 6 foot, 6'1", 195 pounds, athletic. Herman Smith is a corner safety. He could play it all. He was an athlete. He was a 3-star. So you're going to have Cam Selman, Herm Smith, Wiggins, number 5. They have a young nucleus. Yes, indeed, man. Gotta love HBCU football no matter what team, man. Shout out to all HBCUs. It
Really
is
a lot
all
of
love.
dancing going on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium during the first quarter, but I tell you what, things have picked up since, and everybody's dancing everywhere now as Jackson State has a 35-12 lead over Bethune Cookman. And we pick it up here with Bethune Cookman getting set to punt the football away on 4th and 11. That will bring on Ben Lennon, the Australian. He gets this one high. And a fair catch is called for, but the kick is out near the right side. And a good coverage by Bethune Cookman.
That's a good
Wildcats
punt.
are down there, and they're going to down the football inside the 5. So a great kick by Lennon and good coverage by his teammates. Of course, Lennon is a transfer from Utah. Excuse me.
Yeah, the Tigers tried to do a little distraction there, pretend like their ball was up more, and hope when the coverage team would go to them, but they did a good job of staying in their lanes and looking for where the ball actually landed. And again, pinned them deep. And that's exactly what we're supposed to do.
Shedeur Sanders now, we have him at 16 of 21 for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, boy, he's picked up most of that second quarter on from that point. And so they've been very impressive from that point.
And 76% completion rate. That is just spectacular.
Taking care of the football. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And there goes Santee Marshall again.
Wow. Another run
He
play.
had a big game a couple of weeks ago, but he just
What the
hasn't
hell
really
is
been
going
able
on?
to get it going today. And we told you about his story, being a video guy and then getting put on full scholarship, which is something he earned and deserves.
Well, Coach Prom's not going to give a scholarship unless he's all about you earn something, right? I'm going to do things for you. I'm going to bring things to this program, but with that, expectations come with it.
2nd down and 9 now for Jackson State. Shedeur Sanders from his own end zone scans the whole field, and then he comes back the opposite way with that pass. But he did a good job of scanning the field. He was trying to hit Rucker over there, and Rucker was deep down the sideline, Trevante Rucker. But that was a situation where he had good protection, and he had time to scan the whole field.
Yeah, I think sometimes Rucker may have been, again, couldn't really get a good look at how deep he was on that sideline. But
I think they should put Martin back in the game, man, because 38 is not a good pass blocker.
That way it gives your quarterback time.
I don't like this.
Either way, they can shade the ball either way, and as a receiver, you can make that adjustment.
3rd and 9 for the Tigers. Sanders from his own end zone fires, and he has his man near the sideline, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Tigers. So how about that? Keith Corbin, the 3rd.
Oh, reliable.
Haul
Keith
that one
Corbin.
in, and they will move the chains.
Great route. And again, there was
Santee
some time,
missed
and there was some
on the previous
between
play.
the numbers
He
and
had
the
the hole.
sidelines is where that ball was actually thrown to. And again, he leaps up. By the time it got there, he was on that sideline, so you gave him room to be able to get that ball in there.
So they come back with a run inside, and that Wildcats defensive front is right there.
You got to use J.D. Martin,
about
man.
that 3rd down pass, and it's something that the coaches
All right, J.D. Martin's in the game.
over and over. We're going to do what we do. It doesn't matter where the ball is. This is our offense. This is what we do. So he threw 3 straight passes out of his own end zone, and that's a guy that's been sacked 5 times today. So they're going to do what they do, and they know what they can do well.
And that shows a lot of trust in your quarterback, right? To make the proper decisions. And that's why you look at his percentage, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns, and how he's playing, how he leads his team. And again, you said earlier that he's called grown for a reason.
Another penalty.
A grown man.
How surprising.
He was a lot younger, and you come in as a freshman and you automatically lead people. That doesn't just happen.
Martin Anderson.
You have to have something about you.
I'm convinced this is not even TC's play call.
His father.
It doesn't look like it.
No, it's not that. People, young men especially, they can see through the junk very, very quickly, right? If you're not about your business, they see it real quickly. And when they decide to follow and lead, it's because someone's actually the leader.
So there was an illegal procedure penalty against the Tigers offense. So 2nd and 17. Sanders stepping up in the pocket, being chased, and he slides down before he is stopped. Number 12, Ontario Johnson, was in the vicinity. So was a couple of other white shirts.
Shedeur Sanders is running for his life. Man, he is running for his life right now.
For no reason. He just
Man, get him some offensive line protection.
hit or take a shot that can put him out. He's the leader of this team. They need him out there. They need him as their quarterback. You don't take a needless shot right there. Makes no sense, and he goes down smartly.
So 3rd down and 15. Sanders in the pocket, and he is taken down.
Wow.
That's another sack for
He
Bethune
gets sacked
Cookman
10
University today.
times.
Big number 92, Judas McKenzie Jr. in the backfield.
I'll tell you, 92's been playing. He's been balling. Even when he's not getting there, he's
Number
creating
50 and 51.
for his other players. And you're right.
50
They have
and 51. Those are the two players that are getting Shadir Sanders hit. 50 and 51. You could put 79 too, but 50 and 51 are the main guys. No, they got 10 sacks. Now they about to get good field position. Oh, they really about to get good field position because he's rolling.
Justice Tuggle again on the return, and that sets him up in great field position. So we have a timeout on the field, so that means we'll take a timeout in the booth with J-State ahead, 35-20.
Wow. 10 sacks. 10 sacks. Can you imagine the yards and the stats JSU will be having? Let's go back further. Could you imagine the plays JSU will be able to run if they could just have normal blocking? This game has been weird. I want to give credit to Bethune Cookman for playing just physical throughout the whole game. Bethune Cookman has my respect. They've been having my respect. Because I've watched their games. And they played close games. Their 7 losses came from, one-score games, most of them, except for the UCF game. I just wish they would have won those games. I wish they did because they have talent. And I believe Bethune Cookman next season will be a lot better. They have shown the ability to recruit, especially in the transfer portal. I expect Bethune Cookman to get some studs this offseason on the portal. But Jackson State, 10 sacks on your quarterback, the leader of your team on the offensive side. 10 sacks. This is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. 50 and 51. Not only are they holding on every play and getting beat on every play, but they're losing their matchups while causing penalties.
Bethune Cookman getting set to go back on offense with 11:22 to go in this ball game. You know, Coach Terry Sims told us this week that his team was actually battling a flu bug. You know, he had a lot of players, several players down, but he got most of them back in time for this game. And considering that, because when you miss time, it really hurts. They played extremely well when you think about that some of the guys were sidelined most of the week, didn't get in that practice time. So Shannon Patrick back in at quarterback and pressure is coming, and Patrick goes down. So just like that, Jackson State brought the pressure on BCU. Shannon Patrick, his first possession in a while, and he goes down with a sack.
But look how quick they come through. As a guard, you've got to block down. You've got to do a better job of giving him an opportunity. Big number 97 just comes rolling through there, Devontae Davis.
Yeah, Devontae Davis beat his man at the point of attack. He was by that guard so quickly. I mean, Patrick could feel a shadow over him at quarterback.
Well, your responsibilities on the offensive line are inside out. The inside threat's the most important to the outside. You can't let them come right in the face of the quarterback.
So now it's 2nd and 22 to go. He turned, they hand it off inside to Quayshawn Bird. And that Jackson State defense has done a pretty good job on Bird today. Keontae Hampton Again, one of the players making the stop. But the big thing that, today, if you wanted to talk about this Bethune-Cookman offense, J-State has done a great job on Kamari Averett. He's caught the one pass and had the pass interference called on it.
Sorry about
but
that.
Outside of that, they can't get the ball to their big guy, and he's usually their number one target.
Yeah, and they're covering him so well, you don't even try to go to him, right? I mean, that's the big key, right? He's normally, okay, you'll try to squeeze something in. He's covered so good that they've only gone to him a few times. I think he's only had 3 attempts, I believe.
Well, if you not stick with your first target, the pressure is so great, you're not going to have time to go to number 2 and number 3. So it's 3rd and 15 for Shannon Patrick in the offense, and he is hit, and it's intercepted. Patrick is hit before he released the football. It's going to be intercepted by C.J. Holmes. Holmes going down the sideline, and Holmes with a big return for J-State. I mean, the quarterback, that was Al Young, number 9. Al Young, who made the INT for the
Update
defense,
score,
again,
FAMU
pressure
10-0 against Valley.
that caused the turnover.
That shutdown defense is
Wildcats
active again, FAMU.
Whether it's Black or Patrick, have been throwing off their heels a lot. And again, it's just that defensive line and that pressure that they bring. It's incredible.
Yeah, we've seen Al Young make some big plays today. He's done a great job on coverage, and now he gets the big payback by getting the interception there. But again, that's one interception you can credit to the pressure up front, because they were all in Patrick's face when he let that football go.
Yeah, it's a tough one to swallow.
So J-State will go back on offense. Shedeur Sanders has gone all the way today. We mentioned at the top, he's 2nd in the SWAC in passing. This time he hands it to Marshall. Marshall with some room around the left side. A good sweep call there and great blocking up front. He's going to get 5, maybe 6 yards on that.
Yeah, y'all should have. BCU should have kept that brother in that quarterback. They should have kept 17.
Actually. And again,
17 was moving the ball.
Officials time out.
He runs through his block right there.
Yeah, the deep.
Beast Wars announcers are killing me, DJ. I'm sorry. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, man. They just talking to be talking. They just talking to be talking, man. Oh, man. Yeah, max protect. That's what Jackson State should have been doing. You need a max protect. Use 3 wide receivers if you need. Max protect all game. They can't stop Wyman, and Corbin is making plays. Man, Rouse, hey, Bethune Cookman is a quarterback away. Y'all need to go in the transfer portal, get someone who has played in the FBS. Y'all be set. Trust me. That's all y'all need. That's all Bethune Cookman needs. They got the athletes. They got the D-line. Mario Thomas said ESPN announcers are D-League. Man, you ain't lying about that. They looking at their game notes just saying anything, brother. They saying anything on there, man. Make sure to hit the like button. We got 400 people in the chat. Hit the like button. Share the video. Thank you for supporting Raw Truth. This is the Raw Truth family. I appreciate the discussions today. Yeah, I like BCU's defensive line, man. I got people texting me. They said, man, how in the hell did Bethune-Cookman become how did the hell they lose 7 games? They are the best defeated team I've seen in a while. I've never seen a team in a long time that lose 7 games, have not won a game, and be this talented. I mean, Jackson State had to work for their points. And the turnovers helped Jackson State.
And we have some royalty at the game today. Jackson State out in front, 35-12 over Bethune Cookman today. You know, that last turnover.
Yeah, they missing Warren Newman today,
yards
bro.
by Al Young. So a big return by Young, who's a transfer from Southeast Mississippi. And, you know, this has been a fun day to be at a football game.
Well, if you're a Tigers fan,
well, I think those guys
and they're
are
enjoying it. Yeah, they're having a good time. Again, it started off a little rough, but again, you know, it's kind of where we started at the game. We knew that defensive line would make some things happen. That's
they're going for the blitz.
That turned the game. The Wildcats.
Yeah, just throw it up the wide.
Had some really good things going on. Just a few mistakes they have turned this game around.
I'm about to say.
2nd and 3. Sanders has to scramble out of the pocket. Stays back there.
Shadir should have ran that.
Pass is dropped. That's a first today. Keith Corbin
Shadir should have ran that.
Thrown his way, but that one took his eyes off.
I think it was tipped at the very last minute that may have changed that trajectory where he couldn't grab onto it. So good job by the Wildcats breaking on that ball a little bit to at least get in the way of his vision on that
right there.
Picks up a big first down, and that will allow Jackson State to run some more of that clock.
Again, I'll say the Wildcats defensive backs have.
Man, Bethune Cookman has a nasty D-line. Now, if you're a Bethune Cookman friend, I want you to hear me out. The coach is not the problem. The coach is not the problem. All you need is to go in the transfer portal, get an FBS quarterback who has played some type of games that can manage the game. That's all you need. And Bethune next season will be a formidable opponent. They got the athletes. They got that Florida speed. Y'all know how that Florida speed is. They just need a quarterback. They need an identity. I'm telling y'all right now, if I hear any reports Bethune Cookman get a transfer quarterback in the FBS, you know what I'm going to be like? Oh, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. Just watch. They're a quarterback away. Yeah, they just need a quarterback, bro. Yeah, Shadir Sanders, he's not a fast quarterback at all. He's slow elusive or something like that. Black is a solid quarterback. Number 17 got game. But do they want to build around him? I don't know. He made some good drives today. To be honest, Black should have been starting the rest of the game. Yeah, JSU's online been exposed. It's bad, man. Urban never says Shadir Sanders is slow, but you can't catch him. Man, you ain't lying. Yeah, all JSU needs is some 3 stars from Texas and Florida. Oh, you know, Coach Prime, he gonna work the phones. He gonna work the phones to get some money.
Plus is presented by Academy. Get the gear in here to have fun out there. Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the SWAC. By Credit Versio. Get your credit score up to where it should be. Visit creditversio.com. And by Home Depot, proud sponsor of the SWAC. And right now we see the Jackson State Tigers working on that clock here in the second half. As 7:52 to go, they are out in front. They lead Bethune Cookman 35-12. So Sanders on 1st and 10. And he goes down. Man, he faked it inside to Marshall. He tried to fake it to Marshall.
And Caleb Sutherland, he comes off that edge and just power drives.
Man, Shadir is definitely going to need a long ice bag after this game.
It was indeed. So
Oh,
they're
boy.
still playing hard on defense, and that's something Terry Sims told
How
us
many
about.
sacks is
He
that?
said
12?
That his team would not quit, and that's what we're seeing today, that they don't quit and they continue to play hard.
I mean, they don't, and you can see a lot of talent on there. You can see that they're coached well. They just have some mental breakdowns and some mistakes that are just hard to overcome. And I think what he pointed out, sometimes it's just one of those seasons that when you do have the mistakes, they turn into 6 right then, and that's what's hard to overcome, or certainly put the other team in scoring position easily.
Well, I still don't think you saw the stats that our producer Brian Duvall put up on the board about the last time they had a winless season. I still don't think the history is going to repeat itself this year. This is too good a football team. We've seen that. They're going to beat somebody. So Sanders here on 3rd and 9 from the pocket has a man open, and it's going to be a touchdown again to number 13, Malachi Weidman, who's had a fantastic day. Just
wow. NFL talent.
A fantastic
NFL
season.
talent.
Let's go with that. That's what, 4th touchdown of the day for him.
Yeah, he's been just
almost
incredible.
200 yards of receiving for him.
200 yards.
That's absolutely incredible. And again, he just got just to the inside of his defender.
He looking like Megatron today.
And Sanders put it right out where just he can get it to. Great job.
Well, those two have had a great connection today. I mean, just an absolute great connection. I mean, they've been on the same page. There's no doubt about that. So
yeah, Shadir Sanders got heart. He got heart, man.
Point for Jackson State.
Let me mute this so I can speak. These announcers are annoying me. But Shadir Sanders got heart, bro. He got heart. Taking he needs the best masseuse. He need a long ice bath. They need to give him a go-kart, like you said, and let him just rest. Because he is being a warrior today. Getting hit every single time. Now, Bethune Cookman, man, they're going to cause problems for the rest of the teams on their schedule. Because they have no quit and they have talent. Oh, yeah, Marion, I'm sure Coach Terry Sims, in the transfer portal, he will get some veteran DBs. He's got to get that fixed. The D-line is great. When you have a D-line as talented as Bethune Cookman, you should be shutting teams down. And that's the one weakness that they have on defense. They need a great secondary to complement their D-line. Yeah, both are freshmen. Freshmen making plays. Freshmen making plays all game, offense and defense. If you're a recruit and you watch Jackson State, you should want to come to Jackson State. If you're talented, you're going to play. If you work hard, you're going to play. Cameron Selman wasn't even one of the highest recruiting players on the recruiting class. What was he, a 2-star, a 3-star? And Selman is playing. Because Selman worked hard. He studied the playbook. Shadir Sanders, Weidman. And then next year, Shadir, Weidman, Rucker, Quay Davis, and Allah Brown. Allah Brown is he's the speedster. He's number 4 with the dreads. He's very fast. He's from Florida. Not Florida, but from Georgia. Be on the lookout for him. He had a kick return. He almost took it to the house. I think it was against Alabama State.
Go in the ball game.
Look out for him next.
Touchdown. They lead it 42-12. That was a 23-yard TD pass to Malachi Weidman, who hauled it in for the touchdown there. And he's just had one of those phenomenal days. The drive.
Yeah, he running for his life all
35 game. Yards and 3 minutes and 6 seconds to get it in the end zone. And there you see the prancing J-Sets. We got to see them at halftime perform with the sonic boom of the South marching band from Jackson.
All right. I'm going to have the game plan, but I'm going to respond. Shout out 45-11. He said, Shadir hold the ball too long on big plays, but all offensive line can't hold up. The play calling today is not what it's been in the last 2 weeks. It doesn't look like TC Taylor's play calling. Shadir's just trying to make a play, brother. He's trying to make a play. The running game is not there. And he's trying to find the big play receiver, which is Weidman and Corbin and Rucker when he's open. So I don't blame Shadir. I don't blame it one bit. Because if Shadir didn't make these plays, you never know what's called would have won this game. Bethune Cookman. Now, Bethune Cookman, why do you got the Patrick in the game? And he's been messing up.
Play, which certainly didn't need the push, but he fell like a soccer player does when they're trying to draw a foul. Little theatric there. I'm sure the Coach Prime is going to be laughing when he sees that.
This defense comes to play week in and week out, and they did again today. 2nd and 10. Patrick has some time this time. Floats one near the sideline. Went for his big tight end. And that's a rare one. Looked like it hit him in the chest, and he couldn't quite hit
Isaiah
it.
Bolden,
Yeah,
good coverage. Isaiah Bolden, welcome back.
In the air, over the shoulder kind of catch. But you're right, it wound up landing right on his chest. He just couldn't pinpoint it. But I like the route because he gave himself plenty of room to the outside. You see how he's running outside the numbers, and so you give your quarterback a target there. Yeah, it hit right in his hands. Just could not pull it in.
Yeah, that's just tough. Those are the type of catches he usually makes. So that makes it 3rd and 10 now for the Wildcats. We mentioned Patrick is back on at quarterback. Good snap. Has protection again. Comes back to the sideline. Has a man. Good play. First down for the Wildcats. That was number 14, Cameron Overton, who made the catch. But that was a really good throw. He squeezed it in right there on the sideline.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of room. I keep talking about trying to get room. He didn't have any room, but he just threw a strike right there. And good catch. And again, I want to see Averett come over across the middle. He's a big target.
Patrick again with a quick pass, this time to his big tight end, Kamari Averett. He's escorted out of bounds after a gain of about 6. So now they're trying to get some type of movement going on offense for the Wildcats. Patrick again completing the pass underneath, and I wouldn't be surprised if Averett became more of a focal point in this game. You know, they wanted to get the ball to him every time out, just weren't able to do it today. So 2nd and short, 2nd and about 4. This time the pass is incomplete. Good defense by Jackson State. Number 28, Rondell Haney was the defender on the play for the Tigers.
Yeah, and this is a hard part of the game when you're running offense, you're trying to move. You know you can't get that kind of points that quick, and you know you still got to worry the drive. That's why you just got to focus on each play. You really just can't look at the scoreboard at this point.
Yeah, there are no 30-point plays you can dial up and just kind of said, I'm going to hit this play and we're going to have 30 and be back in this. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4 as the Wildcats try to move the sticks again. Patrick this time under pressure, and he just throws it away. Some miscommunication between he and the big tight end, Kamari Averett, over there near the sideline. And the Tigers are pumped up. That's C.J. Holmes on the sideline, kind of enjoying the action so far.
When you look at the scoreboard and you're on that side of the sideline, there's a lot to be happy about, for sure.
So Shannon Patrick now will stay on the field for the 4th down play to try to continue the drive. As you see, they look over to the sideline for the play. A lot of the starters still out there for Jackson State on defense. Patrick rolls to his left, fires, and he had a man wide open, and he airmailed it. Ellison was all by himself, and he just threw it over his head.
Yeah, he read it right. It was a good play call, just simply bad throw. Nothing else to say about that. I'm sure he'd tell you the same thing. He just did not execute. Threw it way over his head.
Well, he rolled to his left, and so that's a tougher throw for a quarterback if you're right-handed.
Should have kept 17 in the game.
But he had plenty of time to set
his
his
feet. Kept Black in the game.
Throw that ball, and instead he just kind of threw it off balance. And again, I think both the Wildcat quarterbacks at times,
it's good to have Isaiah Bolden. Thank God.
And again, that's credit to the Tigers immense pressure that they put on you.
So number 18 checks in at quarterback.
Backup
That
quarterback is in.
Kyrie Lyles. And he gives it inside. And once again, though, that Wildcats defense still playing tough. Kyrie Lyles, the quarterback. No, it's number 18. That's him. Yes, he's a 6 foot, 215-pound senior from Madison, Wisconsin, actually transferred in from Southern Illinois. And we got to see him in the last Jackson State game. He came in, got a couple of snaps near the end of the ball game. He's a big guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sanders closes the book, 18 completions of 25 attempts, 72% completion rate with 4 touchdowns.
Not a bad outing at all. And, you were talking about how you have Shadur on offense as the quarterback. You have Shiloh on defense playing safety. And Coach Prime, when he's there. And one of the things a couple of weeks ago when we talked to Coach Prime, I asked him the question. I said, well, how does this affect your relationship as a dad? He said, I know how it is as a coach. And it was pretty interesting what he said, because he said, I can yell at these guys on the field. I can say whatever I want. But when we're off the field, I'm dad again. And he talked about how precious his one-on-one time was with them.
Yeah, he spends a certain amount of time with each one individually. And then he has meals with both of them together. And then he has meals with his team. And the thing that you immediately find out, for anyone who doesn't understand why he's at Jackson State and why he's done what he's doing, and why he's the head coach here, he loves these players. And he said over and over again, he goes, I love them. I have individual relationships with each one of my players. And they know it, right? And he says, but I do a lot for them. As a matter of fact, they got 5 uniforms he's brought to that team, right? Because he wants them to have some excellence and some great things that they get excited about. But he says, when I give you things, a lot's expected, right? With great things you've given, a lot's expected in return. And so they know that there's the expectations.
So the handoff goes to Peyton Pickett this time. Peyton Pickett was the starter for much of the year, but he is coming out of that concussion protocol. So he missed a couple of games, but he's back getting some action late. We do have a flag down, and we'll see which way this one goes and whether or not that was a second down for the Tigers. So we'll see what the flag is.
Face mask, offense. Number 22, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
So the face mask is called against Pickett on the run. So he must have stiff-armed one of the guys.
You rarely
in the face mask.
Rarely ever see that. Now, I'm good with the call, because I think it should be called more often. You shouldn't be able to grab someone's face mask just because you're running and they can't grab yours. But you rarely ever see that called.
So that will back the Tigers up. And now we're looking at a 1st and 25. And this time it's a short gain on the run, as the big quarterback keeps it this time himself. Number 18, Lyles, on the carry.
Yeah, just keep it yourself, right? I want to get in the stat book. I don't want to just hand it off. Well, they're probably not going to let him throw it.
Just to wrap up the Coach Prime and his son's story, the other thing he said was, when you were talking about that one-on-one time, takes one to brunch, takes the other one to dinner, so they get that one-on-one time. He goes, they'll never admit it, but they like when I give them my attention.
Oh,
so, which they do. Which anybody who has a kid, you understand that. They understand when you give them your undivided attention, it means the world. And it's great that they can experience this together as a father, as 2 sons on the same team. It's a great experience. And then they're having success also. You throw in the fact that you're winning too, and it's the complete package.
Yeah, and again, I think what's so special about this entire thing, he didn't just bring something to Jackson State. Whether everyone in the SWAC benefits from Coach Prime bringing more light to this league, to this conference, and showcasing all the talent that's out there. I mean, what's happening in the SWAC? You got great talent that's transferring in, that's beefing up the talent that's in there for each team. I think it's a win-win thing. And again, looking from the outside at first without having real conversations with him, you thought, well, maybe it's just some kind of no. It is. He does it out of love. He does it for a reason. He wants these young men to have opportunities they wouldn't normally have. He has the means to be able to do that, and he uses all the things that he has available to him to be able to bring better light and better things to this team.
We have a 4th down and 18 now for Jackson State. They will punt the football away, but you're right. It's not just his team. Earlier this year when Alcorn State couldn't practice because they didn't have a trainer on full-time duty, he reached out, said, whatever I can do, let me know. We can try to help. So it's an idea that he wants to get. He wants to win on the football field, but he wants the whole conference to be better. And that's what it's all about. And that's the attitude he's sending over to his players as Ravens punt is short and goes out of bounds. And so far they're about to move to 6-1 on the season, which would be an incredible start. When you look at what they did in the spring, and that was kind of like a feeling out process to see where we are. And you bring in a couple of transfers, and you a little mixture here, a little mixture there, and they've been a work in progress, and they appear to be getting better and better every week.
Yeah, well, I mean, it takes a while to really get a good footing. You mentioned earlier about the amazing coaching staff he has with him, right? And he's not on the sidelines today, but what you do notice when he is coaching, he's the CEO, right? He is letting his coaches do his job, his offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. He's there to oversee. You see him, he's involved, engaged, but he's not over managing. He has great coaches to coach. He's letting them do their job, and he makes players accountable for their actions.
So you see Bethune Cookman taking over the ball with 47 seconds left to go in this game. They have a new quarterback also. He's Richard Lattimore, who's seeing his first action of the day. And that's the other thing about it, too. This score might be a little one-sided, but, from our visit with Terry Sims this week, his team, he's got some talent there. He's got some talent. They just haven't put it all together in a game yet, but you kind of get the feeling that it's coming. It won't be that long.
Yeah, when you're trying to grow a program, it doesn't happen overnight. I don't care who you are, where you are, or what.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Quell Davis, I see you, my brother. Raw Truth, the Raw Truth family. This is a wonderful time right now. The exposure from HBCU, SWAC, MEAC, you name it, the SEAC. This is a renaissance period. And I want y'all to subscribe to other channels, not just mine. Thank you, Fred Porter, for subscribing to the channel. So subscribe to SWAC Buzz, a good brother, stand-up dude. Subscribe to the CFL podcast, Tomorrow Leaders channel, and many more. They do great work. And this is fun. I wasn't even trying to do a stream today, but I'm like, I need to do it for this game. Because I had a feeling that Bethune Cookman early on was going to get fits. Shout out to my dog, Urban Network, good game, JSU. Us FAMU fans watching, don't lose. Shout out to FAMU, man. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. I think their toughest game was Alabama A&M matchup wise, but everybody else they match up well. So if they win the rest of their SWAC games, I would not be surprised from FAMU. FAMU has an excellent coach, excellent team, good athletes, and they've been a great addition to the SWAC. They're definitely number one in media presence. The media team at FAMU deserves an A+ grade. And they're another program, just like JSU, that's going to keep adding talent. Not only JSU had a great recruiting class, but FAMU had a good one too. And they're going to get new transfers that's from FBS level. So this is fun. Competition is fun. Shout out to PV. Now, they got to handle business against Southern. But they got a quarterback and they got receivers and a defense. So they're balanced. And Bethune Cookman, if you're a fan of Bethune Cookman, keep your heads up. The talent is there. The coaching is good. You just need a quarterback who's the face of your team. You need a quarterback that could calm the players down and help them play a smarter way. But they have talent. Terry Sims is not the problem. Terry Sims did a great job, X's and O's wise, attacking the weaknesses of Jackson State. Unfortunately, they had some turnovers. And you can't really blame that on coaching. Yeah, shout out to the Wildcats, man. Shout out to all HBCUs, man. Look at all these channels. This is so amazing right now, man. I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody's channels to do well. There's no negativity here. There's no hate. It's all love. And that's what we're supposed to be about for our people. And lastly, the worldwide leader of sports. You think you could just come out here and produce the worst audio, the worst visuals, just because it's an HBCU playing. But don't forget the spending power of minorities. Don't forget that. All I'm asking for at ESPN, you respect these HBCU teams just like you respect the SEC. Because just let somebody put an Alabama game with poor quality. It would be a riot up in there. Halftime score 10-0 FAMU. Defensive game. Shout out to the Rack Boys. Another team that y'all better hope FAMU doesn't get a transfer quarterback in the FBS. I ain't gonna front. If FAMU gets a transfer quarterback in the FBS, man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. Well, it makes it exciting because they got the defense. They get them a transfer quarterback. It's really gonna be some fireworks in the SWAC East next year. Marion says we will beat FAMU this year. We'll be 10 in a row. Now, Bethune Cookman has been FAMU's kryptonite. I'm going to be tuning into that game. But this FAMU team, this is the best FAMU defense I've seen. It's been a while, right, Urban Network? It's been a while since FAMU had a defense like this. Yeah, the cameraman was terrible, Queen. Terrible. Daniel Grant says, thanks for what you're doing for HBCU sports. You're welcome, my brother, man. As you know, I'm always busy. I'm always working. I don't have the luxury of, traveling and stuff. I work at an important job. And the days I do have off, I got to run errands. I got to do this. So these are one of the few times I get to do streams. But it's all love, man. It is all love. I feel the energy. I feel the love from our people. The discussions, not about football, but about life. My dream is for HBCUs to have their own network so we don't have to depend on these buffoon networks who disrespect the product on the field. But I want to say peace and blessings, everybody. Y'all stay blessed out there. Stay prayed up. And again, subscribe to all the SWAC content creators. Show love to them. It's all love here. And I'm out. Oh, one more thing. Ed Houston, what's good, my brother? He said, release the Kraken. The riding on the raw, young Malachi, anyone, he's a problem. Shout out to James Houston. James Houston better be drafted. I don't see that many pass rushing linebackers who's getting to the quarterback at will like that. He's the truth. He was making plays in Florida. He's making plays in Jackson State. He's a baller. And Shadir Sanders, man, you're going to need an ice bath for this one. You're going to need an ice bath for this one, brother. But thank you for being a leader, Shadir. Florida love. Yeah, man. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to Cali. The three most talented areas to get recruits. A bunch of Florida boys made plays today. If you're from the state of Florida, you must be happy about that. You got to be. Nothing but Florida talent stepping up. But I'm out, man. Y'all stay blessed out there.